Greetings and salutations, my dudes, and welcome back to the most excellent, not-so-subtle podcast.
Bodacious, dude.
Hey, dude, I'm here with my main compadre, Dane LaPointe. What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
What's up, man? Dude. I'm here also with Jordan Miller.
What's up, dudes?
Wow, I thought actually that you weren't going to do it.
I wasn't. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to, but you went along.
I felt peer pressured into doing
it.
Dude,
let's hurry up and finish this pod so I can go catch some swells down in Laguna, dude. Locals only, bro.
You forgot to introduce someone. Dane's glasses. Boom! Got him already.
Bam.
Let's go.
My name is Coulter Potter.
Who are you?
My name is Dane LaPointe. I'm nearly blind. I'm not actually. Look.
Not anymore.
My prescription? No.
I'd like to welcome the newest member of Not So Subtle Podcast, Dane's glasses.
So, honestly, my prescription is... We can pull up my fucking prescription right now and we can read it. If anyone's an eye doctor out there, it's not strong.
What are you...
The prescription isn't strong. I'm not that weak.
What are you looking at, like 0.25, 0.5?
It's like a
Are we looking
1.
at Poindexter?
One of them is a 1 and a 0.75, and the other is a 0.25 and a 0.75.
Oh, so you don't need glasses.
I have no clue what that means.
No, all negatives.
That's okay.
Is that like...
I think
is that out of 100?
No,
I sure like 5 or something, or like...
I think negative, like 2 or higher is pretty bad. Like, that's to the point where you're like, if you're driving without glasses, like, you will kill someone for sure.
But you can buy, like, glasses with that, like, level of power at, like, a drugstore.
Yeah.
So you don't need them.
I mean, it definitely has made a difference with driving mostly.
So you've noticed.
I have noticed. Like, there was just a slight, what I said to Doran when we were on a Discord, I believe. I said, it's like you took the composite cables out of your TV and you replaced it, like, with HDMI. Like, it's just a little, like, there's not as much fuzz. Like,
so now what you're going to do is watch the Kingdom Hearts 2.8
and it's going to be like nothing I've ever seen.
Before you were like, wow, this is like actually okay, and it's like, you're like, what is everyone talking about? It's not that crisp, and you're watching it like, oh my fucking god,
I'm like, I get
dude.
it, like, it's pretty crisp, but it's not life changing. I'm gonna watch it and crisp. I'm just gonna cry. I'm gonna be like, the pixels,
it's so crisp,
it's so good.
My question to you is, have you considered getting
no contacts?
Yes.
No.
Now let's talk about that a little bit. I have always thought that I would like much rather get glasses than ever try to put something in my eye every day.
Dude, it's frightening.
How do you feel about this, Jordan? Would you put something in your eyeball?
Yeah, I mean, you can get contacts that aren't in there you don't take them out every single day. They can have like long lasting ones.
I didn't know that.
But they do have ones where like I think with all contacts you have to be careful about wearing them at night, especially because people have lost contacts like in their like.
No, stop.
No, honestly,
it goes back like into their
and like
brain.
Yeah, and it's bad. It can cause like damage to your eyes.
That's so bad if you just like lose it like in your
bad,
head.
Dude. And then there's also like the whole LASIK thing, but I think you have to wait till you're. It's recommended that you wait until you're 25 or older because your body is still like doing shit.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video one time that purported to be a kid accidentally like his eyeball comes out of his head.
No.
Because he's like drumming. This was on a drumming subreddit, I think, and then it was like guy plays the timpani, and then guy plays the timpani so hard that his eyeball falls out of his skull or something like that. And so what it appears to be is he like plays it, and then he hits it really hard, and his stick breaks, and then it like goes into his eye, and then it looks like his eye like comes out of his skull and like it's hanging by a thread.
So it looks like
but
the
it's
Never
from far away.
Logo.
It's like from the audience, so it's like not high quality or anything. So you're like, oh my god, did I just witness that?
And then a needle falls through it, and it's the Neversoft logo, and Tony Hawk starts.
And then you're playing.
And then TNT begins.
TNT.
And then
that is wild.
My childhood begins.
No, that's how Coulter learned to love rock.
I'm pretty sure that they said that like what looked like his fucking eye stem was just like the stick with like a mallet at the end of it or something like that.
Oh.
So it's just a broken
his eye stem.
So I don't.
So gross.
So it wasn't actually his eye, or
it wasn't actually his eye that came out of his brain. It's not confirmed, but I think they pretty much debunked it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, but still.
So
We don't know
okay,
for
I
sure.
feel a little bit better about that story.
You guys look up the footage, see for yourself.
What do we look up? Crazy drummer eye?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll do.
Sure that'll
You look
find
up
it.
drummer eyeball comes out at his
It
brain.
comes out of.
His skull.
That's intense.
That's not good, yeah.
But no, yeah, contacts are... Honestly, I don't... Like, glasses don't really bother me. It is weird. I feel like I'm looking through a window at everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already gotten dirty once, and I was like, dude, like, everyone always complains. They're like, my glasses are so dirty today, dude. I've already had that moment, and it's only been, like, a week.
For me, it would be,
it's
like...
just weird.
Like, I wouldn't, like, comfortably be able to wear a hat. Or, like, I can't have headphones on while, like, also having, like, without feeling like the frames, like, digging in my head a little bit.
I have noticed it when playing video games, not with my Astros, but with my, like, HyperX, whatever the hell, because those are a lot tighter on my head. And it's actually not, like, painful or anything, but it's very noticeably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I don't wear them when I'm playing on the computer. But I'm nearsighted, so I can see the computer perfectly. Like, honestly, if I were to watch the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 cutscene on my computer, glasses or nah, on my computer, it would look great either way.
Like crisp AF.
Yeah, but if it was playing, like, at a drive-in, like, I'm throwing those babies on so I can see that crisp-ass cutscene. So I'm not missing that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make that much of a difference. They did upsell me on... I went to Lens Crafters. They upsold me on the, like, blue light protection thing that they have on these that apparently has, like, no tint or anything. But she's like, how many hours a day do you think you're on, like, the computer or, like, playing video games? And I'm
You're like 2,
oh, I'm
maybe?
just like, oh, countless. Like, I haven't left my house, like, in 3 years but to get these glasses.
You just kept it real.
Yeah, no, I was honestly, like, I was like, you know what, I play a shit ton of video games. And they're like, this could probably be pretty cool. So I guess the idea is that it's supposed to, like, it's like night shift mode.
Yeah.
But all the time when you're wearing your glasses. So I should be wearing them when I'm playing video games, but if I'm wearing those headphones, it's not happening.
I mean, everyone should be wearing gunner glasses while you're playing video games to protect your eyes and also get high definition visual quality from your games.
Right on, dude. Head to gunnerglasses.com. Use the offer code SUBTLE to get 69% off your next order of Gunner Glasses, dude. Rock on,
You can
bro.
also use the offer code, they're a crock of shit, and you can get them for free.
How's
Please.
that?
Because they're shit.
Yeah, you can just, like, go out into, like, a trash can, like, on the street, and you'll just find them in there.
There goes our Gunner sponsorship. Thank you. God damn.
Oh, he doesn't went in on Gunner.
I'm just gonna
It's
edit
okay,
that out.
Use that offer code before we get disconnected from our sponsorship.
For just
absolutely
defaming them.
destroying
Come
them
on, Coulter. Gunner's shit. Come on. You
Yeah,
can't
they're trash,
honestly
dude.
believe that they're...
Are we
Dude,
saying just
fuck
like from
Gunner
the look
glasses,
of them,
dude.
or like the actual effect?
From the principle of wearing fucking dumbass gamer glasses to play video games.
Honestly, the only way that you would even look remotely cool wearing that is if you had a DX Racer.
Yes.
If you have the whole setup.
Yeah, you have to have the whole
If you get the bundle. No, it's just...
the bundle.
It's just ridiculous to be like, listen, you play video games a lot. What if you wore glasses that helped your eyes and you can make the games look better
What
through
if
these glasses?
what if your eyes had less strain while playing, dude?
It's like, yeah, but
It's-
also I'm not going to wear, like, fake-ass sunglasses while I'm playing a video
Yeah,
game.
they look horrible. I'm gonna say that. I think that there might actually be some benefit because of like the light that you're not
the
supposed
whole
to get
idea
as
is,
much
like,
of.
it has the yellow.
You can just
Yeah.
make your monitor warmer and achieve that same effect by... And also not look like a fool while wearing glasses while...
But like, who's gonna?
I haven't
see,
looked into
Who's
it,
gonna
so I don't know.
see you like wearing those?
What if you're a streamer and you're trying to stream and you're
If
wearing
you're a
glasses?
streamer, like, it doesn't matter what fucking glasses you're wearing. You're on the computer all the time. It's over.
Well,
Your eyes are shot.
but not if you switch your computer monitor to
That's fair.
like, night shift or whatever.
But then you compromise.
Everything.
What, the color quality?
Yeah.
I mean, fun fact,
Look,
most TVs and most people's TVs are set to like a cooler tone than it like their true color actually should be. So
I've changed that on my TV.
yeah,
Actually.
and it's probably like, oh, this like looks like way too like warm and yellow and orange, but actually that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why would they set it to a cooler temperature?
I think because I don't know actually. I don't know why that is the default setting on most, but it's usually set like if you look at your
Does
TV
it
settings,
use
it's like
less energy?
cold probably because it's like a little bit darker maybe, but
Maybe.
generally they're like set like a tone like too cold, like blue. The hue on it is like bluish compared to if you move it up. But yeah.
I think on my TV I changed the color temperature and then the saturation, and it actually like looks very different from like the default settings on all TVs. I feel are complete trash.
Yeah, I mean,
from my experience.
If you're not like really deep into it, you're like, oh, look at this like TV I got. Yeah, it looks great.
I mean, the first thing you do nowadays is you turn off that soap opera mode.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the like smooth motion.
Yeah,
dude,
a lot of people don't know that exists.
I was recently at someone's house, and they were. It was on when I was watching Fantastic Beasts, and it had that soap opera thing. And I was like, I wanted to say something, but I was like, no. If I just like shatter their illusion of
it has Peter Jackson 48 frames per second
dude,
vision.
It was weird. I was honestly gonna say like, you guys know that like this is shit, right?
What you should have done is like waited till like find a time where everyone left the room and then just switch it and then
they come back
and it's like
and they're like, why is my TV slow?
Although honestly, they'll probably look at it and be like, this like looks worse or something, or maybe they won't even notice.
I've seen people be like, oh, like this doesn't look as good when it doesn't have the soap opera mode. It's not supposed to look Peter Jackson mode.
But it honestly just looks like you're on a set. Like everything is on a set. It's really weird.
It looks fake.
It looks really fake, and it totally takes me out of the movie.
The way you most see it is when the camera's panning like across the screen, and then it's like the most smooth looking thing ever, and it's not supposed to be because movies are in a low frame rate, so it's supposed to kind of look jittery.
Yeah.
So it just ruins the entire thing.
I remember when I watched The Hobbit in the crazy motion.
I never did that.
I did it because I was like, you know what?
Why not?
Peter Jackson's doing some shit. I gotta see like what's going on, right?
That's what we're working with.
Yeah, and so I watched it, and the one scene that sticks with me is, wait, did it have the river rafting scene in the first Hobbit?
I think so.
Where they're like hopping and bopping on the barrels.
Yeah,
and, like,
I think that's the first one.
Okay, so there was that scene, but the worst one was when Radagast is being carried on his little sled by like the rabbits and everything, and they're like doing like, you know, like Dave Mirra BMX like freestyle jumps like through the forest, and you're watching it and you're like this looks so bad. Like it's this old dude and like really shitty, like not shitty but like not great makeup and like prosthetics, and he's just like flying around with rabbits that look completely fake. And also, there is so much CGI in that movie that, like, the contrast between the people and the CGI with that high frame rate is just absurd. It's hard to watch.
That's a weird thing because for video games, like, it's much better to have a frame rate that's higher than, like, whatever. Like, the higher your frame rate is, like, the smoother and better it looks in every, like, situation. There is no situation in a video game where having your frame rate half as much is, like, looks better.
But I think that's because you go in there knowing that it's not real.
That's fine. Well, I mean, but what does the frame rate have to, like... I feel like it's us, like, we're so ingrained in watching, like, 24 frames per second that, like, any movie that switches from that, it now looks weird to us because it's just different. Like, maybe if every movie from now on was just in whatever frame rate, it would, like, we would get used to it.
Oh, so just because it's...
Because it's
the
used
outlier.
To. Yeah, we always know, like, it's always at a lower frame rate all the time, so... Of course, when we see one that's different, we're like, well, this is, like, not what I'm used to. But is it really bad, or is it just different? But also, The Hobbit is a shit movie, so it's hard to judge that against.
That's what we're really pussyfooting around there.
Yeah.
People say it's good for like nature documentaries or something like that, but like I don't even think.
But even then, like, it doesn't have the same effect as when you're watching Planet Earth, and it's like this meticulously crafted cinematic experience. If you want to
see a lynx move across the screen with supreme
agility,
but also smoothness. If you want to see every single frame of him like moving across,
or her,
then I could understand that. Him, the only male lynx, lynxy, lynxus.
Nice.
Did you guys see that video of Peter Jackson being like, yeah, so I had no time to like do the Hobbits and like. It pretty much like failed, or like he just like had supreme sadness.
I'm glad to hear that he recognizes that, and it wasn't just like, oh yeah, like no, this is definitely like my like. If he had been like, oh, this is my vision that I wanted, I would have been really disappointed in that because that's not what I wanted to see at all.
Wait, so he actually admitted that?
Well,
like those movies are trash.
What it really was, it was like during the filming of it, and he was just like, we have no time to like make this be what I want it to. And so you just see him on set, like in between takes, like writing the movie basically. And like he's talking about how they just have no time to do anything.
That's really unfortunate.
And so that was like really telling about the whole like production of the movie.
Absolutely.
I mean, I didn't watch the last one. I heard that it had some cool action scenes, but like,
It's all right.
They're all CGI. It's
no, I know, and like, I don't know, I was very angered by those movies.
yeah.
Especially it's like there's literally no comparison coming off of Lord of the Rings, where
that's a massive bar to like.
Dude, we looked this up at one time. The budget for The Hobbit was like, I don't want to say 10 times, but it was it was way higher than.
And it was all spent on CGI.
And it was ridiculous because I think they worked with Weta Workshops to do all of the like they literally just had thousands of people like in makeup and like prosthetics and like dope ass outfits, and they like handmade like chainmail and like ridiculous stuff like to like their dedication to that movie was just off the charts.
And this one was bad because they had no time to like do any of that.
Yeah, and I feel like they just shouldn't have done it.
Shouldn't have done the movies, yeah.
Yeah,
Or at
like they
least
should
just
not have. Yeah,
restarted
it
production
took
or
so
something.
long to make Lord of the Rings, but that's like one of the most highly regarded film series like of all time.
You can tell, given that time, it actually came out to be a great product, unlike The Hobbit, which
You can watch those movies today and it's still really impressive because everything is real,
yeah.
mostly.
I mean, yeah, there's some like CGI that maybe doesn't hold up, like
Like
the Balrog.
Minas Tirith and like all that kind of stuff is obviously not.
Everything
Not real.
is something. Lyric from my favorite song.
Everything is something. Wait, what's the next one? Everything is
Nothing.
Everything is something. Something is nothing. What is this?
I don't know. It's a terrible lyric. It's a terrible song.
But it's kind of lit.
Pretty lit. Anyways, we've already been talking about movies a little bit. Let's talk about another movie. A new movie. A good
new
movie. A movie
good
by
movie.
Christopher Nolan called Dunkirk.
Speak for yourself,
Dunkirk.
Walter.
Now, we all saw this movie.
We did.
We did.
What did we think about it?
I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Jordan and I talked about
I
it.
thought
a
it
little
was kind of a... Dane, don't move. There's a moth.
Oh,
We're good.
No. Okay, we're
bit.
good.
Behemoth.
It's not a behemoth. It's fetus of behemoth.
Don't make fun of me. Son of Behemoth.
It's spawn of behemoths. Yeah, so I thought it was good, but it didn't like surprise me or enthrall me in any specific ways.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of just a classic movie. It seemed like a movie that you would see from like the 80s or something like that, and then you'd be like, oh, that was like a good movie. Like, I'm glad that I watched that for my education of movies, but, you know, I'm not really going to go back to it or anything.
Yeah.
Whereas something more like a Saving Private Ryan, which is like a war movie that really makes you care a lot. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's more like enthralling and entertaining in the moment. And it's not just about the events, it's about like more the characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely enjoy that type of thing more than this movie, but this movie definitely has its own little niche. So
Yeah, I came away from that movie like pretty disappointed by it. I felt mostly bored while I was watching it because I couldn't connect to any of the characters. A lot of them aren't even like given names. It's just like your comparison to Saving Private Ryan was good. I was actually gonna bring that up myself, is because Saving Private Ryan,
Saving Private Drive-In.
Saving Private Drive-Ins, 3 out of 4 Ryans, is a character based movie. It's a movie about World War II, obviously, but it's more about the characters and their story. Whereas Dunkirk is solely about World War II. Like it's barely
just
even
about the
the
events.
characters. Yeah, there's no character to follow. There's no plot to follow. There's no like end goal for the characters. There's the end goal for the war, obviously. But you know, we know how that turns out.
They have a very thin thread of like a kind of a narrative with characters going on.
My like overall like thought on the movie is like there are a lot of really beautiful shots in the film. It looks really, really amazing, but I was just profoundly bored the entire time because nothing was like. There are supposedly exciting scenes in that movie with like, you know, there's some escape scenes and boats and stuff like that, but it just didn't catch me. I feel like mostly because I just wasn't connected to the characters at all. And also, be warned watching the movie if you have sensitive ears. It's really fucking loud, and we watched it in Dolby Cinema, which to me is a mistake. It was so goddamn loud that the music and just the effects were like oppressive to me. Like it felt like when they were playing some sort of music or some sort of the music that was happening during the scene was trying to evoke a feeling from me that I wasn't getting from the scene by itself, but the music was just so intense and so loud and trying to force it upon me that it actively made it worse for me as I was watching.
It's a classic Hans Zimmer / Christopher Nolan thing, is to like have really fat like score and music going on during the background.
But let's be real, the sound design in that movie, pretty good. Like, not the, you can say what you will about the music, but like especially like the sound of like the planes swooping by and like gunshots and everything, like the atmospheric effect of all that
stuff is good. Like, I like those sounds, but it's when the music is it just every time just felt like, oh, this music is intense. You need to feel like this intense moment right now. Whereas I'm just like, this is so goddamn loud. Like, it's not that intense for me. And stop trying to make me feel a way that I'm not feeling.
That's fair.
It's like when you put a silly sound effect into a dumb student film.
Yes.
And
all the time.
You're like, oh, you're trying to make me.
Yes. Watch Panty Raid.
Dane, what are you talking about?
We've never seen that. I don't know what that is.
We watched it 3 times.
We did?
I don't know. Yeah, I presented it more as like a question rather than a.
Did we already explain this?
No.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, okay, so we were looking up on. Should I explain it?
Yeah, sure.
We were looking up on Amazon the Raid, and we found. What we found was more than we bargained for. A movie called Panty Raid, which I had to roll over to and see what was up with that.
We couldn't just dismiss that.
Because the one thing that stood out was that if you wanted to buy the movie, it was like $70 or $90. It was like, no, how is this? And also, it was 11 minutes long. So we're just like, no, there's what is wrong with this film that it's $90 and 11 minutes? So we had to watch it.
Mm-hmm. We had to know.
Which it was free with. Why was it? Oh, with ads.
It was free with ads. Yeah, with Prime, but there was no ads when we watched it.
It wasn't long enough to warrant an ad.
It's 11 minutes long. It's a student film. I don't even know if it's a student film. It's a citizen film.
I feel like someone was just trolling.
It's just a rando film. It's a Vine film, basically.
Edited in iMovie.
Yeah, and like with stock, stock like credits and like sound effects and stuff.
Like that noise.
Bad. Everything about it is bad.
So it was just a terrible movie that we wanted to watch. Yeah. And it was just complete trash. But anyways, yeah. What were we talking about?
Dunkirk.
I need to reset the camera because I forgot to delete the footy from last time.
Well, that's okay. Dane, what did you think about Dunkirk?
So I agree with both of you on a lot of what you said. But as I think about it more, I appreciate it because I feel like it's a very experimental film for Christopher Nolan to do. One, because he's Christopher Nolan and he's like established himself as like this summer blockbuster. Like, you're gonna go to the movie, you're gonna see some crazy shit. Like, it's gonna look great. It's gonna have good writing. Like, all of his classic actors are gonna be in there. Like, he has everything like down to a science, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people probably saw the trailers for this and they're like, oh, dude, this is going to be like, this is his Saving Private Ryan. Like, this is his Black Hawk Down or whatever it is. Like, this is going to be his, like, you know, like, fiction or non-fiction, like, war film that's just going to be intense and everything. Like, win a bunch of Oscars. And it's kind of on, like, the opposite side of the spectrum from Saving Private Ryan or, like, any war movie in general, really. You don't see the enemy. Like, that you see them once for like 2 seconds or something like that, but the rest of the movie is just like the reason I like it is because I kind of like what Coulter said when you mentioned that it feels like a classic movie, like just like a movie you would see like maybe even before, like maybe like the 40s or 50s or like classic cinema, where there's no frills, like it's just this is what happens. There doesn't need to be like a love story or like, you know, some like, oh, my dad's back home, like he needs to see me when I get home or anything like that. It's just like, these are people, this is what they're doing, this is Dunkirk, like they all kind of struggle and like go through like strife in their own way, but it's not like, what you could say is frustrating because they don't have like a quote unquote plot to latch onto or like a narrative, but there's something to be said for just being like, I mean, the movie starts and that's like you're in it. There's no them like, you know, saying goodbye to his parents and going off to war. It's just like it starts. He's with his friends, like shit goes down, and then from there, like you're very briefly introduced to, not even really introduced, you're just shown like 3 different sets of people going through the same events, but experiencing it like in their own way. And I like that because it's different. Like it's like there's no other movie where I've just been thrown into it like that and be like, well, what's going? I don't know this guy's name. Like, I don't know why I should care about this guy. It's almost like I feel like it's almost like that because it doesn't matter who they are. Like it could just be anyone. This is just like a snapshot of the event itself rather than like a Hollywoodized or like a movieized version of Dunkirk. And I kind of like how blunt it is, like how bare bones it is. Like there's something special. To
me, like that's not like, because I've seen that before. I've seen to me, I would feel like I should have just been watching a documentary on Dunkirk, because like there's nothing in that movie besides them just doing their things. And also like they had like at the start they don't explain this like very well, and I was confused like towards the end of the movie that all 3 of those plot lines are happening at the same time. I was like,
but in different amounts of time.
Yeah, but isn't explained. Like I was like, okay, it takes 1 week for this, it takes 1 day for this, and 1 hour for this. But like you see like the part with the plane where the pilot gets shot down. I was like, okay, I remember that. And then it shows that scene later in the movie from the pilot's point of view. I was like, wait, like what's happening right now? Is this like the same person? Do we just see this? Like I feel like that could have been clear
with the pilot stuff.
I feel like that could have been clearer from the start, because I was like what timeline is this happening in? Like, are these different people?
Something you need to know about Christopher Nolan is he doesn't care if you understand or
not.
He
doesn't, and I hate him for that, because I didn't hate that movie. I just was bored by it.
There's just something about like, because I was talking to my dad about this. I think what I said was I like how sure of itself it was. Like so I guess you could say like it's because he doesn't care or like isn't really concerned with how or like what you want out of it. It's just like this is a Dunkirk. Like it's not called like, you know, it's not called Saving Private Ryan. It's not called like, you know, Adam's Struggle or whatever. It's just Dunkirk, and it's just like this is what went down. There's no like nothing. It's just like this event. And I kind of like, I appreciate that because it's very different. And I feel like, and I told a lot of people this, I feel like general audiences are going to go to this movie and they're going to be very disappointed. Like they're going to be like, not like you have your reasons, but I feel like a general moviegoer wwho watches like Transformers and like all that kind of stuff and like who watched Batman are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh, it's Christopher Nolan. Like this looks dope. It looks like crazy action and everything. And they're going to go to it and it's completely different. Yeah. Like it's very much like an art film.
Even from the like, I remember, like, even you and some other people, like, oh, Dunkirk is, like, going to be lit when it comes out. Like, this movie's going to be awesome. And I was like, okay. And, like, I saw, like, every trailer was about, like, the boat, like, segment. Like, that was what they showed the entire time. I was like, why is everyone so, like, hyped for this? It's just, like, to me, like, I thought the movie was going to just be about those guys going to Dunkirk on the boat. And, like, I was prepared for that. I was prepared to not have it be, like, a ridiculous action movie. And even from the start, I was like, oh, okay, this is, like, this is, there was just nothing for me to latch onto in that movie, and I just couldn't connect to anything, and I wanted, like, some sort of resolution, some sort of character to just have some sort of plot line to go through the movie, and instead there was just nothing, and, like, I can't care about a movie if I can't care for anyone in the movie.
That's what about Tom Hardy at the end?
Again, like, Tom Hardy was, like, the coolest character, but also I only liked him because he was flying a plane around, and, like, I think that's cool.
He saved the day.
Sure. But
Spoilers.
He did, but like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if those people die. They're nameless people in that film.
Yeah, I definitely get.
But that's kind of what
point
like,
of view.
That's what war is. Like, these people are gonna go through this. They're gonna die. Like, it's almost like it's not necessary to have any of that stuff. Not to be
it's a movie.
But like not to be an apologist for it, but I feel like he was very aware of the fact that he was doing that. Yeah. Like I don't think he accidentally just made the movie and he's like, oh, like no one knows who these people are. Like there's no like love story. There's no like, you know, narrative really. I feel like it's all very purposeful. And
I mean, for better or for worse, like you said, he's very sure of himself, but he's very sure of something that a lot of people probably are not going to enjoy.
Yeah, but I think that's why I like it though.
Okay.
I think that
Not to like go against the grain. It's just because I feel like it's like unlike any movie I've seen because of the fact that it's so divisive and the fact that like it's so unlike, especially Saving Private Ryan or like even what is that, Letters from Iwo Jima, or like any of those war movies where like you go in and it's very like it's a narrative. It's like somewhat fictionalized. This is just straight up like almost documentary style like realism.
So I feel like this is somewhat similar to what the frick was that movie called that you guys like? Apocalypse Now. How is like the fact that there's no real character and like things are just happening? It's kind of all about the events. Like, I guess there's more like intimate moments with like the characters where nothing is happening except them talking. But other than that, like I feel like it's kind of similar.
But Apocalypse Now was more about like, it was about the events, but in turn it was also how those events were like psychologically impacting the people.
Yeah. Like the point of that movie is that movie is about the main character of that film and his like descent into madness.
Yeah.
Whereas Dunkirk is about no one and about like there's hardly even any dialogue in that movie. It's just things happening. Whereas to me in Apocalypse Now, it was like a really fascinating look on the human psyche, like in war. There's something happening in that movie. There was something you could look at and say, okay, this is what this movie is about. It's about this man, his struggle, like, going into chaos. Yeah. And he literally goes from point A to point B. He's going along like this storyline, and you can see his progression and his plot.
Physically, in terms of like the river and.
Whereas in Dunkirk, it was just it's three, like, to me, incoherent storylines that attempt to merge at the end, and they do, but it's confusing to me in the process.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I cared about the main character in Apocalypse Now. Like, I don't know. It's possible that it's possible that it was completely clear, like, what he was going through, but for me, like, I didn't really feel that for whatever reason. I don't know. But about Dunkirk, I do have to say that I feel like almost all the technical elements you can't deny are, like, very well done.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice.
I feel like this is one of the best shot, and like the production values of this movie are like off the charts.
There's a lot of things where it's like okay, this seems to be done practically. Like, how did they accomplish this?
Apparently,
that's such a huge undertaking.
Apparently, Christopher Nolan spent $5 million on one
gun,
on one pistol that they never show in the movie.
Oh, like in that Quentin Tarantino movie, Hateful Eight, where they got like a priceless guitar,
and then Kurt Russell was like, "I'm gonna smash it."
It was like, oh, so this is the prop, right? And then he just smashes a priceless guitar.
No, Kurt, please.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Apparently Christopher Nolan, I could be wrong on the dollar amount, but I believe he spent $5 million on one of the Spitfire planes that they ended up crashing purposefully. But $5 million of the budget went to one plane, and it was a real-life World War II. I don't know if it's a replica or an actual plane, but either way, they destroyed it.
Probably like a cool way for it to go out.
It's pretty cool. Like,
if you were a plane, how would you die?
That's intense. He was just like, you know what? I want that plane.
Or a volcano.
I'm gonna buy that
dive
plane.
into a volcano.
That's a
good
good way.
That's not as cool because you just disappear into a like.
But this will be like
you like crash and then you just, like, sink on fire.
You have to film it with some sick IMAX.
You have to have a GoPro and then throw it out of the plane as soon as you like crash.
When I was watching this movie, like, there's a lot of moments that are
unforgettable. No, I'm just kidding.
It's unforgivable. No, there's a lot of moments where I also like how sparse it is, where you just get thrown into like a crowd on the dock and there's just stuff happening, and it's really just it's just things happening. It's not like we gotta get to the boat and like all this stuff, which is cool too, but like the opening sequence to Saving Private Ryan is awesome. There's also not a lot of dialogue, but there definitely are characters like interacting with each other, and you get to know, like, you know, the captain and the sniper and all that stuff. But there's moments in here where, and I think I read somewhere that Christopher Nolan himself did a lot of the camera work, like on the beach and in like the crowds and stuff. So I think it's cool just to kind of get that feeling like you're hunched like on this dock with like bullets whizzing past you, and it sounds incredible because it's incredibly loud, and like the music was a little overbearing at parts, and I thought the whole ticking thing like was just raising my blood pressure unneedlessly.
My dad and brother were like, "Oh, there's like that ticking the whole time," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So they recorded a sound of it's in the trailer, but they recorded a sound of
I definitely know it from the
Christopher
trailer.
Nolan's Pocket Watch, and it's just almost continuously throughout the movie. There's a sound of like a
Yeah, I definitely did
like
not
a steady like
hear that.
I didn't pick
and
up
apparently
on
it's
that at
some
all.
like I watched a video of it on I think it was Facebook, but it's some like effect. Like you would probably understand it more than I would because it's a music theory related thing. But apparently it's like the illusion of like the music getting to a crescendo, but it never actually gets there. It just keeps going and like repeats, and it can go for like 6 minutes or whatever. And you'll just be like, okay, like something's about to happen. Like there's gonna be some crazy shit, but then the scene just keeps going, and the music kind of is constantly like elevating, but then it just like cycles. And I don't know exactly what it's called, but apparently
I've heard of
it's
that.
supposed to like simulate like it's to
A never-ending crescendo.
Yeah, it's like building tension, but for an extended period of time.
Oh, it's like building up to something and then never actually having anything at the end.
Right.
Huh.
Sort of like the movie.
Yes.
I have to say that I didn't feel exactly the same way about the music. I think the music, without the music, I would have felt exactly the same as Jordan, as I probably would have been completely bored and like confused the whole movie. But for some reason, the music kind of tied the storylines together in a way that at least like worked, like on some level.
Yeah. Like I could feel like the effect, like the emotion they were trying to evoke from me, but it wasn't like that wasn't happening for me. And by having the music just so oppressive, it's just so loud
It is
all the
very
time,
loud.
and it took me out of it.
I think I'm happy
so
I
fast.
didn't see it in Dolby because I did hear that it was incredibly loud, and like I felt it was a good volume in my theater. So.
It was like mind-numbingly loud.
It was very loud. But
Dolby Cinema is a blight on cinema in general.
When those planes fly by and you hear that like that noise, apparently it was I don't remember the name of the plane, but it was an actual like strategy used by German soldiers to invoke fear.
Nazis.
Yeah, Nazis.
They had like no Nazi. Did they mention Nazis at all?
The word
No.
Nazi is not uttered once in that.
And there's no like swastika, and they didn't.
No, they show the enemy once.
I was gonna say they didn't do that in Wonder Woman either, but that was World War One, I believe.
Yeah.
Did they have Nazis back then?
No.
I'm not sure
Okay.
they were called Nazis back then.
It wasn't. They weren't even
History lessons with the
Were they
boys.
still the Ottoman Empire at that point?
I don't know.
I think it was. In World War One.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, either way. What was I gonna say?
Speaking of history lessons, that's gonna be my
Nice
segue after
segue.
this. But are we gonna say our final thoughts on that?
I was just gonna finish by saying that I enjoyed. I've already said I enjoy how blunt it was, but I enjoy that the music in particular was like a constant. That was one of the only constants throughout the movie. Like it just kind of kept going, and each scene flowed to the next. You never really had time. There was never a moment in the movie where like you could catch your breath and just sit there and be like, okay, like here we go. We're gonna go to like like we're gonna go to like a dialogue scene or whatever. It was just like because there's no dialogue. They would just go from like one quote unquote set piece to the next scene, and the music would kind of just like drive you forward. And it was always kind of like I don't know. There's something about it that kind of just kept me engaged, even though it was very loud. It was obscenely loud, but I kind of liked it.
It oppressed you, but you liked it.
It was definitely stressful. Like
So would you say
at the
that
end of the
music,
movie,
you
I
liked
definitely
that
like
music?
felt my shoulders relax, and I was like, okay, I can breathe. Like
Yeah.
my blood pressure will go down to normal at some point. Partly because it was loud, partly because of the ticking, which I still feel like is insane that you guys didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Because it was very, very noticeable for me.
I like when you said that, I was like, I don't have any idea.
There was
what
that
you're talking
ticking.
about.
It was
And I was
literally
like,
just like if we watched
what?
the trailer, like that.
Yeah,
it's
the
literally
trailer.
I
just-
heard it in the
it's
trailer.
obvious
I
in the
remember
Oh,
it
it's
in the
literally
trailer, but
just that the entire movie.
Huh.
For most of the movie.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea why I didn't.
That's what.
And my
that's
brother,
why
like-
I did.
My brother and my dad said it, and I was like, "What?"
Like,
Like
what-
usually,
what
I'm the
noise
one
did?
like noticing like subtle things.
Mhm.
Subtle.
Hey.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Jordan. I feel like we've heard your final
My final
thoughts.
thought is I was profoundly bored. I'll give this movie 3 confusing storylines out of 5.5.
Nice. I thought it was fine. I'm probably never gonna watch it again, and I definitely wouldn't put it amongst Christopher Nolan's like top films or anything.
Yeah.
Probably less. I feel like I'm annoyed by some of his more convoluted movies more than I'm annoyed by this one. But this one was just like, whatever. Like, it's fun to watch one time. Yep. Well,
I enjoyed it. 7.
You had to have the last word.
7.5 out of 10.
Okay. I don't think I can binary this movie.
Well, you've painted yourself in this corner.
You gotta do it.
I always either like it or I don't say binary scale. I'm just gonna say, like, you already know if you want to see it or not. So, if you like war movies, if you like Christopher Nolan, you'll find something to like. Otherwise, I'd say pass and go to
The Emoji Movie.
the Emoji Movie. I was trying to think of something bad. Yeah.
Nothing worse than the Emoji
anyways,
Movie.
our next segment, our review of the Emoji Movie. It was great.
Cinematic landmark.
A cinematic landmark with sweeping music and
Astonishing
gorgeous
visuals.
and great story.
Right.
It
checked all
elevated
the boxes.
the state of cinema as we know it in 2017.
We will look back on this movie.
2017.
2017.
Anyways, our next topic is actually going to be our wacky film of the week. Every week we watch a film that we pick out of a bag randomly.
So the hat is a bag.
If you guys want to see our list of wacky films that we have to choose from at the end of every episode, you can go to the link that we have as our pinned tweet on It's Not So Subtle on Twitter.
It's right there.
Plug. A nice little plug there. It's pretty good.
Mid-pod plug.
Not
Mid-pod
bad.
plug. Well done. So yeah, the movie that we watched this week was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This movie was a movie that I'd seen. You guys had not seen it.
We had not.
You hadn't seen it before, Dan?
I had not.
So I'm very curious to hear from you boys what you thought about this.
I'll say right now, I have a feeling that we're going to have very differing opinions.
Yeah.
on this movie.
I know you didn't like it, Jordan.
It's not that I didn't like it. Again, profoundly bored by it. I couldn't just get into the jokes. It was too dumb.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me. The movie is just too dumb for me.
It was
I
really
couldn't get
dumb.
into it. They're so goddamn dumb.
It was so dumb.
It's so stupid.
I will say that I watched this movie like as a child and I found something to enjoy about it as a child, but as an adult there's almost nothing to take from it other than like maybe 2 interesting time travel segments.
Yeah.
Like
Or,
Inception ass.
Yeah.
Well, that part was kind of like cool. I was like, okay, but I was also hoping towards the end they were gonna show them do that or have some sort of ramifications for them.
But it
just-
doesn't matter
just
if they do
cheating,
it, 'cause
you
it's
know?
already done.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But
Which
they
is
were just-
another paradox.
Yeah, they were just breaking the rules of time as we know it. They were just
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess we can just do anything now. And I was like,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
at that
cool,
point,
I mean.
that was the last of anyone's concerns in this movie
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
how they were going to handle the science of time travel.
The joke was we need Dad's keys, but we don't have them, and we need them right now. So what we're going to do is after we finish this whole adventure, we're going to go get the Dad's keys and then go back in the past to this moment right now and place them over here. So if we did that, I'm going to walk over these bushes and they're going to be right there. Oh, there they are.
Whoa.
So yeah.
And then he's like,
it's pretty
"Whoa,
good.
that's cool, dude!"
And then they do that a bunch of other times with different
Yeah.
MacGuffins.
That's really silly. I did chuckle a couple times in the movie, but for the most part, I couldn't get into anything.
It was
Also, if you're interested in the whole dude saw dude
That was
type
again. That was funny
aesthetic.
for me for a bit, and then
Yeah.
it was like
It got
alright,
old
now it's
so
done.
fast.
It's done.
It
I
does
can't.
because they use the same joke where it's like, "This is most heinous, dude."
Also,
Like,
they're
they
just
say,
doing it
This is
unironically.
most fantastical, or
Yeah,
they'll
do
just
people
say,
did people ever actually talk like that?
I feel
I
like
think so.
at some point, but this was.
I mean, we're the ones saying dude, what's dude.
We miss
Yeah, but
you
when
used to
we
say
talk like
radical.
that, when we're like, "Oh, dude, Chad, let's go to Laguna, bro," we're doing it because we understand that it's that we would never talk like that normally.
But it had to come from somewhere, right? Someone
guess.
somewhere actually talks like that.
I guess I would hope
In
not.
San Dimas, 1988.
Yeah.
Is that a real city?
Probably.
Is it supposed to be San Diego?
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be San Dimas.
All right.
figure this out, Dane. This is a pressing thing.
It's not worth
it's essential. It's not worth it at all. Doesn't matter if it's real or not.
I'm from California. I don't even know.
Stop.
You're not from
How long
California.
did you live in California?
I'm going to go with approximately 5 minutes.
You don't even have a memory of when you were in California.
I do.
You're like
I actually
5.
remember the...
I was born in
Zelda.
Ames, Iowa, so
I remember-
I don't go around saying I'm from fucking Iowa. Dane.
All right, Poindexter, what do you got?
Audio listeners, you're not seeing this. Check out our YouTube page. Not so subtle. Too many mid-pod plugs. Dane's looking for Izzy
I'm
as
not gonna
as
say
Fa.
that.
Dane, what did you think of the movie?
It was extremely dumb. This was one of those movies where I really did have to turn my brain off and just be like, you know
Yeah.
what, this movie is stupid. It's not like I feel like it was a little overhyped for me.
Yeah. I remembered it being better for sure. I was a little disappointed.
It's not that I thought it was bad. It was just like it's one of those movies that's hyped up, I would say, about as much as Office Space or like
Yeah.
or not even that, maybe like I don't know, it's in that list of cult films where everyone's like, oh dude, you haven't seen Bill and Ted's, like,
Yeah.
and then someone will say like a random ass quote, like obviously the whoa, like the Keanu face is a thing that everyone knows if you've like ever been on the internet. So that kind of stuff is great, but like
It's so silly
It's-
that it has to be made fun of. So that's why there's like so many like references to it and stuff. But the actual content of the movie is not actually funny.
it's not.
We didn't actually
it's not.
laugh.
We really didn't. It was just like I was watching it, and it was almost as if like it very well could have been like a Funny or Die sketch,
Yeah.
but just like, taken on
Savage.
way too long.
What do you have against Will Ferrell?
I don't have anything. It's not even that. But no, that's a compliment. I mean, like there's humor there for sure. Like I'm into that whole like Chad like surfer bro talk, and then their facial expressions. Like the casting in this movie was great.
Yeah.
Because Keanu and Alex Winter or whatever his name is, they look
I commend you for knowing that. 'cause
they
I
look
have no
so stoned throughout the entire. They just look like they're just completely gone, like their brains are just melted.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that there's a lot of potential here for like a hilarious, like kind of stonerish comedy movie, and instead it's played as a kid's cartoon.
I feel like
It is played very.
There's a point where they knock him on the head, and then it's like, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's played as a cartoon.
Yeah, I feel like the people I heard that this movie was like great from, or definitely like the stoner crowd of people who are like, no, dude, this movie is like hilarious. You gotta check out Bill and Ted's, dude. It's so funny. It's like,
I mentioned
yeah, if
when
I was
we-
like high on my mind, I'd probably enjoy this movie a lot more
Dude,
because
I mentioned that when we
just
were watching it. I'm
couldn't
like,
get
I feel like you have to be just really high to watch
Like,
this
yeah,
movie.
I was just like, I couldn't like get my brain to comprehend like just the silliness of the movie. It was just
Yeah.
so goddamn dumb.
It is very stupid.
I couldn't take it.
That being said, if I probably wouldn't just throw this on like whenever, but if it was like on TV, this is probably for me what is like a turn your brain off, just chill, like comfort movie. So
That's
could
what I mean. Like
definitely see
it was funny.
there's absolutely no like mean spirited stuff
No.
in this movie.
No, it's just, and it's almost like when I was watching it, it was almost as if they had to be aware of how stupid it was.
But they never like do something to
Yeah.
Like self-referential.
It's not
or
played
anything.
for
They-
like jokes how dumb they are. It's just serious.
It's yeah, they play.
But there's
it's
something.
weird to say serious
but
because
there's
it's played for
something
jokes.
great about that.
Yeah,
I cannot get behind that statement.
it's
No, I mean,
interesting
I'm not.
that
I'm
it
not saying the
exists.
movie was like anywhere close to as good as people said it was, but there's something about it that deep down, I feel like they must have realized that, because there's no way the amount of times they say like bodacious and like what's
mean-
up fruit dude and all that kind of stuff, like where they're just
Yeah.
saying the stupidest things. Socrates,
Well, that's just classic humor.
it's just so dumb.
That's just good funny
It's-
stuff right
it's
there.
They probably said that in
continuously
like
dumb.
a Charlie Chaplin talkie. I don't even.
Talkie. Fuck off.
I think what it is because some of that stuff was actually I don't know when this movie was made, but some of that
89.
stuff 89. Okay, so that's close enough to like the actual time frame. Exactly on the time frame, pretty
The
much.
timeline.
No,
matchup.
but
The
like
dark timeline.
these kind of like way of talking and like what's popular at the time and the music and everything like that was popular right then, and it was like unabashedly seriously popular, and people actually said stuff like that.
Yeah, this movie is a product of its time, and I don't know if it holds up like at this point in time. We've moved beyond like even when we do our jokey Chad stuff, like we're doing it in an ironic way.
Yeah, we're doing it ironically.
Because we know that's
and
dumb.
they're being so earnest in this movie that it's just, you're like, oh, you guys don't get the joke.
Yeah.
The joke is that you're supposed to be doing it to make fun of people, but you're not.
You're supposed to be making fun of this way of behaving, but you're just completely.
But you're living
playing
it
straight.
straight. It's
way,
not as
yeah.
good that way.
Yeah, it would be like if we did like a dabbing and like fidget spinner video.
Unironically,
just completely play it straight. Like, oh, this is cool, dude. Like,
have you
check
guys seen
this out?
Dab before. I just did it.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to like zoom in on you and do like a fat ass
like
bass drop or something.
I just learned how to dab, so I thought it was pretty cool. I thought I would show you guys.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No, I'm a time traveler from 2016.
If I
a sick roast.
if I remember, I'm gonna place my ticket right here. Oh, what in?
Dude!
That's from the future.
That's crazy, dude. How'd you do that, dude?
We should go back in time to tell us to start this podcast.
What if we already did?
Wait, but don't you remember when like we were all sitting in the house and then like a shadowy like trio came in and was
And they were
like,
dude.
Not so
we had
subtle.
the exact same idea for what that was gonna be. Dude,
That really happened.
This fucking
If you
sick
guys-
podcast, dude.
I'll get mics. Then you'll be able to do it. And Dane's like, I'm not getting a fucking mic. I'm gonna wait like 13 years.
Dude, trust me, there's gonna be an Amazon flash sale coming up. Those Blue Yetis are fucking sick, dude. Those reviews are hot.
See, this is what we're doing. We're being ironic and meta with our own content. This is something that they failed to do.
That's how you
This
make
is
it.
something that they just didn't grasp.
We are the kings of comedy, and we know how comedy works.
Now we're taking it seriously and being too earnest.
Right.
That's what I also like to call a joke. But I like to do deadpan humor.
Completely sarcastic. I think we may have deconstructed this movie to its very core.
Yeah.
And there's not much to say.
We
Other than
we kind of just went in on it.
we did kind of go in. I have honestly nothing against this movie because it's completely good natured and I'm glad that it exists.
Yeah, I mean, again, some people may find this movie hilarious. I just couldn't, like, the jokes are so silly, and I just couldn't get behind it. So, I mean, if you like this movie, good on you.
If you're a kid, watch this film.
Sure. If you're just stoned AF right now, dude, just watch this film.
Yeah.
You'll probably get a kick out of it.
Yeah, if you're watching this, you just smoked like 3 bleezies with your mates. Like,
Yeah,
just
man.
hop on Amazon. It's free on Prime. It's free on Prime.
Yeah,
Use the offer code SUBTLE to get a free year of Amazon Prime.
I wish.
That's the dream. On audible.com.
Yeah.
The last thing to discuss about this film is when spoiler alert, Bill thinks that Ted got stabbed and killed, and then he goes through the whole being sad, and then he sees that he's not actually dead, and then they reunite, and then it's like, they're all happy, and then they hug or whatever, and then they look at each other like, at the same time they say, fag.
Oh, did they really
that
say
was
that?
a thing.
Honestly was like half asleep during the first like quarter of the movie, half of the movie, so I don't remember any of that.
How can you give your review of no, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's telling.
You're
I
off the
fell
podcast.
partly asleep during half
So
that
they
film.
definitely, I feel like they definitely said fag.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Like,
You
I'm sorry
weren't-
if I'm wrong, but I think they do.
That
you
wouldn't
weren't,
surprise
look,
me.
you weren't 100% sure. I was 100% offended.
And so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it happened. I heard it.
I heard it with mine ears.
In this day and age, look, if a snowflake hears something, check off
In the
snowflake.
forest.
If
Can it really be heard?
Can it really be offensive? The answer is yes.
We're combining so many different.
Inside jokes.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, that was
I really
pretty
do
crazy.
think they said that, and I remember we were both like, "Wait, hold on, did they just say that?"
It's funny because that is the one bad-natured thing in this entire film.
Right.
Again, product of its time.
Pretty
Not condoning
bad
that at all.
nature.
But that's a tasteless joke now.
That's like
so.
if in the middle of Phil Lord and Chris Miller's films, like 22 Jump Street, they just turn to each other and say, fag.
Yeah, and then you're like, no,
Honestly,
if they did
that might happen. I
No.
feel like
Actually,
they
that,
do
if
that.
they-
if they did it, it would be ironic.
Honestly,
Yeah.
but if they did it nowadays, like if someone did that nowadays, there would be severe backlash.
It would
Like
be.
you can't do that.
I mean, the
Absolutely.
joke is in poor taste for sure.
I mean, it's
No matter how you
You
no
can't
one,
say fag in complete earnest.
right, and like
Well, you
when-
can say it if
back
you're
when we were
discussing
in
it.
junior high, like everyone, it would be odd if you didn't say something like, "Oh, dude, that's so gay."
Yeah.
Times have
someone
really changed.
someone like says something completely normal, like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna go buy like a hot dog from that stand over there." It's like, oh, gay. You're gay, dude. Like, no one does that anymore.
Comedy has come a long way.
Yeah, you can't.
Comedy.
Just call him something. Just call him a dick piss.
Also,
like,
culture in
just
general.
say like another insult.
I mean,
Like, gay's not an insult.
when I look back at my young self on like Call of Duty and stuff, I'm deeply ashamed of the things that I've uttered out of my mouth because
Look, we've all said some bad things on.
times were bad. Like
We've said some terrible things.
like
on Xbox
early,
Live.
not early days because Xbox Live was around for a few years at that point, but like the peak of the online generation was a shit show, and it's not a good place. Also,
it hasn't
people still
improved
talk
too
like
much,
that.
yeah.
No, join a match of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Listen to the proximity
That's
chat.
actually
People are just shit. People are bad. Bad people.
This
are in
reminds
there.
me, one of you ever have that moment where like your first impression of a person, like literally your very first impression of someone, just tells you everything you need to know about them as a human being?
No, because I don't judge books by their cover, Dane.
Oh well, I do. At work, there was a coworker who started. He was in training, and he was like shadowing me for a few minutes. I won't
a
disclose
shadowy figure.
where I work. He was a shadowy figure. He's a shadowy trio.
And he said, "Did."
I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something. What was it? I made a joke doing some like being me and being dumb, and like said something in some voice, and then he was like, "Oh, dude, that sounded so gay."
Really?
Yeah, like, but not like, but as in like junior high.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's so gay. Like saying like that's stupid or that's dumb, and then I just like said nothing to him for.
You blacklisted him.
I did. I was like, this guy is shit.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's a fucking awful ass employee.
Oh.
And he's actually a bad person.
Okay.
So
There we are.
he's like that. He's like that bro that like.
He's Chad.
Honestly, the only thing that he's missing is like dousing himself in Axe body spray.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like he's
Does
checked
he
off
do
all the other
lax?
boxes, huh?
Does he do lacrosse?
I mean,
Do lax.
probably lax. He probably does.
Does he take laxatives?
Yes.
He also flies exclusively from Lax.
Nice.
Nice.
You're a true Californian.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, not raised. Born.
Born and
Born
born in immediate exodus.
All right. What's your review?
from California. Born.
I hate you.
What's your review of Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted. Actually, I was gonna say
Did-
real quick. Give that guy's name on camera, please.
His name is Chad. No, that's doing a disservice to Chad.
Yeah, Chad is a completely great.
He's a stand-up guy.
He's a god.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I
He's
thought
the patron saint of dead.
he's a patron saint indeed. I've pretty much already given my full thoughts on the movie. I think that. Let's see. Do I recommend it? If you've never seen it, and you enjoy, and you're willing to put up with kind of a kids type of situation where there's not a lot for adults to kind of latch onto, I'd say watch it. I like. There's a lot of '80s stuff. If you like '80s culture, there's a lot of. Excuse me. There's a lot of
Behemoth has entered.
has entered my realm. If you like pina coladas, no. If
I
you
was
like,
gonna do it. I wanted to do it, but I didn't.
I gotta get in before you.
I'm glad you did.
There's like hair metal and they're saying "deed" and like "most excellent" and stuff like that. So if
Throwing
you
a couple
like that,
shakas out there.
if you like
They're
that,
rocking
it's
shakas
definitely
all day,
worth.
dude.
It's definitely worth watching. If for nothing else than to watch both their faces just look completely stoned and like
And just dumbfounded at
Like that,
everything
though.
they say.
Look, their expressions throughout this movie were.
on
they
the
were
binary
point.
scale, I'm giving it a 0.5.
Coulter.
Interesting. You can't.
Stick with your dang scale, man. I'm upset that you didn't just give it just a fat 0 or a 1.
I don't think that this movie is not worth watching in any situation.
So it's a 1.
I guess, but I have more to say than that. So
It's a 1.
I did mess up. I'm sorry.
With
I shouldn't have
some-
picked the binary scale.
Yeah, that's. We can change
Look,
it.
you can still back out.
Do you want to?
We'll
I don't.
we'll
but
continuously
here's the
make fun of
deal.
you for it.
Here's the deal: is that I don't want to do your guys' creative scales because I don't want to like be
But I
the
don't-
third man.
Dane copied mine already.
I mean,
so
all
true.
I'm,
feel
all
free
I'm
to
doing
join.
is like numbers now.
Yeah, you're
I'm
just
trying
like
to keep it
5
on.
out
I'm
of 6.
trying to keep it out of 10 most of the time.
I don't think that's the case.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to just no review scores now.
Yeah, I think review scores are done.
I feel like I'll do a letter grade. I'll start doing a letter grade.
We're ironically doing scores.
Yeah, I actually prefer when like video game websites just don't give out a score. I like just when they put their thoughts on paper, because a number is meaningless without.
I also like
reason
seeing
behind
the
it.
score though.
It's
because
true.
It's
I do like that also.
There's a satisfaction to that when you.
I
see
definitely
that.
like a lot of times. I'll just be like, "What's the number?" Oh, okay,
Yeah.
98. Ooh,
It's always high. It's
Yeah.
never low.
But yeah, no. But I also read the reviews afterwards, because I just like to read what different authors have to say and stuff. You know, I like to get different takes on things, spread my own mind.
You're a scholastic man.
It's in regards to video game culture, I would say so. I like to do a lot of reading on it.
You do a lot of research.
You do that with film.
Funny story, if you want to hear about research. I actually wrote. This was for my to get into for a master's program. I had to write like a essay or something, you know, for something. So I wrote about PewDiePie and his alleged, although it actually happened. He like got paid by Warner to promote Shadow of Mordor without like saying any negative reviews or bugs or anything. And to like not complain about the game at all, but he wasn't upfront about his viewers about that. There was no like label. He didn't say this was a promoted video. He didn't say anything like that, and that rubs me the wrong way.
Not only does it rub you the wrong way, it's illegal.
It is illegal now. It wasn't when he did
really?
it. It created a federal court case and is now like in the process of trying. Like those rules are still in like a gray area at this point.
Wow, I did not know about that.
So
Send me a copy of your dissertation.
I don't have it anymore. Actually, I probably could find it. I could find it. Actually, I could find it. It's
That's
not
a lot
great,
of confidence.
It wasn't great, but it was decent.
What grade did you get? Let me
It's
just put
not
you on
graded.
blast.
It wasn't graded. It was just for an admission.
Oh, okay.
So.
I see you. All right.
Probably
What
would've been
score
an
did
A,
you
though.
give the film?
I'm gonna give Bill and Ted
3 convoluted plot lines.
I am gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it 3.
Ryan's.
3. I don't want to do dudes because that's just so fucking easy. That's like the easiest one to do. I gotta find the
You'd
better
be
one.
pulling the same stuff that they did if you did that.
I'll give it.
Come on, Jordan. Be basic. You know you want to.
It's just so easy. I had it right there. I was gonna do it, but I
should
wanted
just do
something
it.
more. I'll give it 3 historical figures out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah, that is really harsh.
I didn't like the movie.
It's fine. Why didn't you like that? No.
I'm gonna give it a C.
All right.
A C minus.
C for
So-
cool.
So about the same grade as Dunkirk. You gave Dunkirk a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I feel like you enjoyed it more than that.
Dunkirk?
Yeah. I feel like you said a lot nicer things than.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked when you gave it a 7.5, I'll be honest.
But I feel like it's. I don't know. It doesn't have the same like long last. I agree with Coulter. Like I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah, just food for thought. Just make it, just.
I mean I liked the movie a lot, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give it a 10. I'm not gonna give it a 10. I would give Dark Knight a 10.
It's fair.
I would give Mad Max Fury Road a 10.
Also fair.
I would probably give John Wick like a 9.5.
I'd give John.
I'm gonna
Wick
say
a
that I
10.
don't appreciate John Wick as much as you guys do.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Get
I would
outta
give
here.
American Beauty a 10.
I would give the Emoji Movie a 10.
I would give Bill
Out
and
of
Ted's.
100.
No, I don't know.
Bill and 10.
I mean, I could just go back and
Damn, I
change
should
my
give it a
review
Bill out
of
of 10.
Dunkirk, but I won't. I won't change
Bill
it.
out of 10. All right. I guess that's pretty much all we got to say about that.
We will be picking a movie out of a hat at the end of this
Yeah,
episode.
we're going to be picking our next wacky film at the end of this podcast. Stay tuned, or just look at the topics list. I mean, I'm not going to
Don't
judge
do that. Just watch it.
it. Just watch it. Just watch it. All right.
And then leave a comment or review.
Guys, we like to talk about video games. We're some video game boys. We often talk about video games in segments that were not meant to be about video games, which is fine.
They're important in our
This
lives,
is-
and they bleed into them at all
Yeah.
points.
This is an open forum podcast.
We have trouble.
Our conversation flows, ebbs and flows throughout all topics,
We try
whether they're scheduled or not.
Yeah, we try to include the layman, but sometimes you just got to talk about what
Look,
it interests you.
it's boring to be limited by what the man tells you to structure your podcast like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the government
The
wants.
man being
yeah.
the general man,
That's-
like
yeah.
the general public.
Yeah.
Yeah, did.
Anyways, guys,
Shaka.
video games are fun. Video games are cool.
debatable.
I'm gonna do a poem.
Go
Video
on.
games are
Just
fun.
kidding.
Video
I
games
like-
are cool.
Video games are neat.
Sometimes
And
when I
so are
sleep,
you.
I
So-
drool.
Oh.
All right, so something happened in the Overwatch realm. First of all, we
What?
got Doomfist. Overwatch is a game that we play a lot, so we might have some thoughts about this.
So we recently started playing on PC because Coulter hasn't out.
Yeah, so I recently got Overwatch Collector's Edition. Let me just say, this Collector's Edition is probably my favorite Collector's Edition I've ever gotten.
Whoa.
I haven't gotten that many Collector's Editions, so
Where's-
that's not saying a lot. It's way over there.
Oh, the statue.
Oh, the statue is on that table right there.
I can't
Anyways, this is
see it.
terrible for the podcast, but yeah, it comes with like a really nice statue of Soldier 76. It comes with the
Very
soundtrack.
weighty.
Yeah, very weighty statue. It comes with the steel book of the game. It comes with like some extra skins and stuff, and just the presentation of the box is so nice.
When it has like the
This is a collector's corner right here.
roster of heroes, like the art of the heroes
Yeah.
in the box, and you're just like, oh yeah.
That's a good piece of artwork. Is when they're all like the
Dude.
picture where they're all just grouped up together.
That
That's-
is-
looks
On a
real
white
nice.
background.
That's a
Yeah.
legendary.
They did that like
Dare you
for
say.
the Overwatch, like when they had that white. They did that for like one of the splash screens at the start of the game once, where they just
Yeah.
had a bunch. That was really
For
cool
anniversary.
looking. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Bring
I
that
like
back,
that.
Blizzard. You're listening. Bring it back.
Dude, and I gotta say, that art book, have you looked through the art book?
Oh yeah, it comes with a huge art book. I haven't
art-
looked through all of it, but
That thing is crazy. It's like inside the box, it's like in the bottom of everything, and it has like a Velcro strap that you undo and you pull it out, and you're just like,
it's a significant book.
large.
They would
Yeah.
probably charge you like $39.95 for that.
It's like 200 pages.
Yeah, it's a hefty. It's,
thick-ass
an
book.
encyclopedia.
Thick book.
Oh, and dude,
Thicky.
in there it has concept art for every character. It has complete breakdown of like their like bio.
And it has
like,
the secret code to get naked Mercy.
What is it? Please tell me.
Please
Please
tell
tell
me.
me.
69 420 swag.
Okay, listen,
YOLO.
Mercy and her witch outfit
Laser
is
Blade
enough.
76.
No, and like they have concept art for like every map. Like it's, mwah.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
high
haven't,
quality.
you should actually read through like most of that. It's pretty cool.
It's neat.
I will definitely do that
Very
if
good.
I ever read. No, but yeah,
If
I
you ever
really
learn how to
liked that collector's edition. I'm a collector, and I appreciate the small things in life,
Such as that big box.
such as that big man.
It's also a hefty ass box.
It's a large box, and it like they put it in its own box with some wrapping around it, and then they put it in an even like larger box than that. So it's just like the biggest box I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Coming into the house, and everybody's like, "What is that?"
And you're just like, this is Overwatch, motherfucker.
They're like, "It's pretty good."
You're like, well, check this out.
Check out
Yeah.
this statue of Soldier 76.
Anyways,
So I got the game, a new right in time for Doomfist coming out, which is a heavily anticipated hero. Also,
rumored.
yeah, long rumored. What was the new patch?
Roadhog, RIP Roadhog.
Okay, yeah. So there's that, and then there's also the announcement of the summer games, which are restarting.
Yeah.
Right, August
now.
8th. Did you guys hear really quickly about that kind of stuff? So they're
Yeah.
they're discounting all
I was
of
gonna
the
ask you
original
about that.
skins to 1,000 rather than 3,000. So you can still get those. They're adding new skins
okay, good.
for I don't want to attempt to say who they're doing because he said most of them. Jeff Kaplan is on record in that developer update saying that the Mercy skin that's coming out is his favorite. He said it's possibly his favorite skin in the game and definitely his best Mercy skin.
Beach
I'm gonna
volleyball.
say-
It's the
I'm
summer.
gonna
It's the
say
summer.
beach volleyball. I'm gonna
Please.
say beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball
Everybody,
Mercy.
wait. We need to say a prayer right now for
Okay.
Mercy. Okay.
Okay.
Please, Jeff.
Please,
Jeff?
we need
Jeff,
this.
if you're listening right now, grant us this wish.
We need.
Thank you,
We
please.
need
God.
hot ass beach bod volleyball Mercy.
And
Thank you,
I mean,
that's-
if you can throw in Diva, that would be good for Jordan.
Yeah, and Farrah. I like Farrah a lot too.
But look, she has a
Amen.
nice she has a nice body. It's not sexual.
No, and listen, it's
a great body.
It's not just sexual. I think she's a fantastic character. They're
She
all
is.
really good characters.
They
I
are.
think they're all very interesting.
So, there are multiple new skins coming. They're bringing Lucio Ball back, and
give a
they're
shit
bringing
about
back Copa de Lucio or whatever, which
Competitive
is
Lucio
competitive Lucio Ball. If you play 10,
insane.
if you play
What?
10 matches, if you rank essentially are
There's
placed.
10 qualifying matches,
Yep.
and then you get to start playing competitive
in there,
Lucio
then you
Ball.
get a exclusive spray. So I'm definitely going to do that. And then if you get top 500, you get another spray. I won't be getting top 500 because I'll play 10
I
matches
won't
and
be
that's
doing
it.
that.
I'll
be playing
which is
Rocket
strange. It is strange, but
Guys, check out my Lucio Ball shirt. It's pretty good.
get out of here.
They're the better version of Lucio Ball.
So yeah, so all skins that were available in 2016, which was interestingly, this was the first seasonal event or whatever.
They're the
for
worst
Overwatch.
skins in the game.
That's
by far.
true. That's true. But they're also only going to be 1,000. So if someone
That's
missed out on like Nihon Genji or something,
That's
or
true.
like USA McCree, like that's pretty good. That's
Isn't there a joke that's like, check out this sick Genji skin I just got?
That's
Yes.
Isn't that one?
That's my sick
Yes.
joke against Colby because he liked that skin and I
Doxed.
got it. I don't.
and
He
he
doesn't
never
care.
and he never got it. So you would always be like, oh dude,
So just
like even if you're not playing Genji, you'd be like, oh dude, check out this sick Genji skin, and you would just switch to Genji just to show off Nihon.
Because it's a good looking skin. But
It's
yeah,
it's a pretty good skin.
I mean, yeah. So all the
It's all
characters
white.
get like different costumes and stuff, and they're all for the summer games at least. They're all based upon their place of nationality.
Mm-hmm. And now they're adding. He mentioned a few characters. Junkrat's getting one apparently.
I think you said McCree might be.
McCree.
Yeah.
Mercy for sure. I thought
Like
he mentioned
Widowmaker.
May. Oh, Widowmaker's getting one.
What is Widowmaker's? Oh, she's from France, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll probably get like maybe a gymnast outfit.
I was
She's
thinking
a
she might.
gymnast.
I was
I
thinking
think
she might
none of
get.
this is actually no. It's gonna
what's
be
the-
athletic. So,
She might just get like a like.
A leotard.
dude, please swimming, please
What's
swimming.
no, I think no. Roadhog is a swimmer.
No, stop.
Roadhog and a speedo.
Yeah, they have the.
He says
like
in the update.
picture of all of like their like athletic event, like Reinhardt's a wrestler. Roadhog is doing like high dive, like off of
Oh,
like
boy.
just because that's silly.
yeah, just because it's ridiculous. And like I think Mercy was doing. I honestly think she was doing tennis.
Oh, actually,
That's
her
not sounding
spray.
good.
Her spray last year was a tennis.
Yeah,
spray.
so maybe
or
she's doing
badminton or something.
Yeah, so she might be doing something.
She
like
can
that.
still go to the beach. Okay, we
what-
still have hope.
That's true.
That's true. Like it could be beach badminton.
Yeah,
Beach badminton.
What if she has like a visor,
yeah. That's
Like
what
with a
her.
sick
You
ass-
can look at her
That'll be
spray.
fine,
It has like
right?
that's what it looks like.
dude?
That's true.
That's gonna be fire.
Widowmaker's is a gymnast one with like a little like whip, like she's doing. I don't know.
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
ribbon dancing.
And maybe
Yeah.
Farrah will get one. I think hers was she's playing basketball, so that'd be pretty cool. She has like a dope basketball jersey.
That'd be cool. I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
We need like new music, and then we can get Lil Bow Wow's basketball or
Yeah.
Lil Romeo. Is that
We're
Lil-
playing
Romeo.
basketball.
I'm not sure which one it is.
Is that the song?
Yeah, we're playing basketball. Yeah,
Throwback.
all around the world.
Oh yeah.
It fits because all around the world. Yeah.
There we go. Overwatch. That's it. All
Yeah.
around the world.
How do you guys feel about the old skins being available and not as rare?
I was a proponent that they were never going to bring this back, which
The events or the skins?
The summer games and the skins as well. Or at least, because originally it came out in an Olympics year, Overwatch did, so that's why I assumed that it was specifically for the Olympics. Clearly they either made some decision down the road or like we can bring it back or whatever. But
I actually know that it was because they were talking about this on Reddit, and there actually is a BattleNet post on the forum where Jeff Kaplan says, okay, if this does well, we're probably going to bring back the same events next year, and we are not going to do the Olympics, or like our Olympics are not on like a 4-year cycle.
Okay.
They're on like a 1-year cycle. So
That's fair.
He says that they're going to bring it back. Even at the time he said that. So people are like freaking out like, oh man, I didn't know they were going to do this. But actually he said it from the beginning. But I will say that a BattleNet forum post is not the same
it's not
as
fact.
actually saying it to everyone. Because only a fraction of the people actually
yeah,
say
and I'm glad I'm wrong. I'm glad it's coming back because I don't particularly like the costumes and the skins that they had last year like, for the summer ones. I think like they're the worst ones out of all of them. But if they have some new ones, I always like to get new skins. And
But
like,
the
that's
Genji
fun.
and USA McCree are pretty fucking.
Yeah,
dope.
but I have those already, so I
Yeah.
don't care.
Well,
so
yeah, but I mean, like for people who don't have it, or
I don't
like
care
for
about
people.
them.
Okay.
Don't let them have it. I want.
What about like
America McCree.
what about like one of our friends just started playing?
No, I
and
don't
he-
care.
And like he didn't have any of the skins
I'm
from
sorry.
anything. No, you're heartless.
But that's the other thing is that if you're gonna bring it back, like, just make all the skins available at this point. Then, like, what if we know you're gonna if Halloween comes around and they're just gonna be like, well, The Halloween skins are available again.
But they're gonna add more.
Yeah, they are, but just make all of them available. Like, some of those ones are actually pretty good, and I don't want to have to... Listen, am I going to be playing Overwatch next year, like, next February for their, like, Valentine's Day thing? Like, I don't fucking know. Probably not. That's another year.
That's why they're doing it, is to make you keep playing, like, to make you pick up the game
I'm
again.
still having fun with Overwatch.
Yeah, but you have to admit that we're not playing nearly as much as we were a few months ago.
That's true.
It's certainly
there's
died
other
down.
stuff out.
The game
Such as
itself
Rocket
has died
League.
down, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
Such as Lucio Ball.
I mean, I still
Lucio
play
Ball,
Rocket
bring
League.
it back.
Lucio Ball. Yeah.
But, yeah. That's Overwatch for you. Anything else about
Should
it?
we say just really quick our thoughts about Doomfist?
Sure. Have you guys been able to play him very much?
I haven't played it a single time.
I've played him a decent amount.
Okay.
No, or like an hour total game time, probably.
I played him a few times.
He's fun.
He's fun. Like, it's hard to get a sense of, like, a character, especially right off the bat, because you don't know the way their moves. Like, you don't know, like, the synergy between all the moves, and it's hard to... Because everyone else is playing as characters that have been out for a year, so they obviously know how to play them very well, and it's hard to, like, do super great.
He definitely has a presence.
Yeah.
Like, he reminds me of Tracer in a way that when you see him, you're immediately just annoyed. Like, you're just like, oh, shit. Like, Tracer's going to be doing some shit, like, behind us or whatever. And when you see Doomfist, like, in general, you're like, okay, someone's going to die. Like, he's going to fly over in a corner and, like, do some crazy stuff. Like, you always kind of have to be... He's one of those heroes where as soon as you see him, you're like, okay, well, I have to take care of Doomfist. Like, he's going to cause some problems.
I'm going to be annoyed by this.
Yeah, like, this guy's just going to be really annoying the whole time. And, like, playing him, I'm not very good with him, but he's also, like, way different than any other character that's been in the game. Like, that's why I like him. I think he's completely different from any other character.
Like, his abilities, like, you play them like a combo game. It's just like you have to, like, 1, 2, 3 them and
it's
like
pretty cool.
use them all in a row. And like, he's actually really fun because he has a move where he like charges back and then will just like leap forward, or like just he'll slide forward pretty much and punch someone. If you hit him into a wall, it just does extra damage, and he can one shot like a bunch of weak heroes with that. And that's like really fun to just like hit someone and just send them flying like into a wall. Like, that's pretty cool.
And they fly into the wall, and then it's like it has like a visible impact.
Yeah.
Like, their body just goes like, ugh, and there's like a cracked like wall, or like like they'll like knock objects around in the environment and stuff. Like, it's pretty cool to...
I definitely couldn't get the hang of like his other skills very much, and like I couldn't like get a read on how powerful his gun really was. It was kind of hard for me to like I would try to like punch someone up in the air with an uppercut and then like shoot them and hit them on the way down to the thing, but I just couldn't ever really get the timing.
So his gun is weird because it's not hit scan. So it's like it feels most similar probably to like Lucio or Orisa, where it's like you have to lead him a little bit.
I was going to say like Torbjorn, because he has the same
true.
similar type of shotgun, which
That's
is
true.
like has a little bit of delay on the bullet time there.
Yeah, that's true. I don't play Torbjorn a lot, so I didn't think about that. But I'm starting to realize like I don't want to say they're janky, but like his moves are like they're kind of particular, like especially when you do the I think it's shift, the uppercut, when you go up in the air, like you can only really do your little dive bomb attack after that at a certain angle. So it's kind of weird to get used to, like, because when you look at the ground and you press the button, you're like, well, why am I not doing anything? But you have to wait for that little blue like reticle to show up, and then I think the farther away they are, or the farther you travel, the more damage you do, and it's measured by that number, like up to 125, I think. I've only ever gone like in the 80s off that jump, so I don't really even know what that means exactly, but like it's very like it's not easy to pull off those.
Like, I always felt like I was just missing with it, because I would try to like do the punch or something, or try to do that move, and that move has a leap forward and like a effect that hits the ground and kind of like moves forward in a
little shockwave.
Yeah, like a 45-degree angle, like arc forward. But I would always like leap past someone, and so I would very quickly like mid-leap turn around to try to hit them like and spin my character around, and like the effect looks like it should be hitting them, but I felt like it wasn't, and I didn't know if I was just out of range or if I didn't get enough like distance on it, but I felt like I just wasn't connecting with like what was happening, and that's probably on me not like actually doing it correctly and stuff, but I just couldn't get a read on really what to do with him. But I think he was fun to play. It's definitely way different than...
He's really fun to play. He's kind of like... It's almost as if they just knew that dive comp was a thing, and they're like, let's literally just make a character that like embodies rushing and like gung-ho, just crazy like Rambo tactics. But I feel like you have to play him smart. Like, you can, and I think we forgot to mention that he gains shields from attacking people and using his abilities. So you're kind of encouraged to go in there and just cause mayhem, because you're gonna the more damage you're causing, the more chance there is that you're gonna survive.
And like you are, but also you can't like. I would like get really aggressive, and like he's weak. Like he doesn't have a lot of health. He has like 200 health, which is like on the very very low end for most Overwatch characters. So like he gets like burnt down real fast.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was saying he was kind of like a tracer. Like if you could very easily be distracted by like a Zarya or like any tank, or even like a Pharah, or anyone that like draws your attention away from the immediate like point or payload or whatever it is. Like if Doomfist has a chance to get in there at any angle and you're not paying attention to him, he's gonna destroy you. Like he can very easily. You can probably kill. I want to say you can kill most attack characters with like one punch into a wall from a good distance with Doomfist. Like almost every offense character, which is just insane. Like if like anyone's soldier, like even a tracer, like you hit her mid blink or whatever, if she like jumps right in front of you. I was playing tracer and I jumped right in front of a Doomfist and one punch killed me. Yeah. So I feel like he's, like I said, if you see Doomfist, you're like, okay, guys, Doomfist is on the right side. He's gonna do some shit. Like someone take care of him, because he's very dangerous. He's very fast.
I agree.
But if everyone is paying attention to him, like a Tracer or a Genji or whatever, like he's gonna die.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited to play him.
He changes the dynamic of the game a little bit, which every new hero should. That's why I like it.
All right. Well, let's just get into what we've been playing.
Jordan got a Switch.
Jordan got a Switch.
I did get a Switch. Actually came a day 2 days earlier than I was expecting.
Oh, baby.
That's a gift from God whenever it occurs.
So, because I bought it from GameStop, and it said on their thing, like, the estimated shipping date was August 1st. I was like, okay, August 1st, I got 1 day shipping, so it's going to come the next day. Be August 2nd. I was like, okay, that's when it's coming. And then I checked my, like, confirmation thing. I was like, oh, estimated delivery, July 31st. I was like, oh.
Like, okay, let's fucking
that's
go.
Today.
Let's go.
And it did come that day, and
like,
so...
Good.
Yeah, so I was able to play it pretty much.
A shadowy figure approached you and was like, your Switch is going to come today. And you're like,
what?
Dude.
And then I reached behind the counter, and it was right there. But yeah, and so I was able to play a fair amount of Splatoon 2, and also a decent amount of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Although
the two games you should own.
Yeah, mostly the two games on the Switch at this point. Most people might even argue just Zelda, but yeah. So before that, I was like going through my setup process, and I told Coulter this beforehand that like because he mentioned cleaning up his room, I said I also like, because when I got the Switch, I didn't want to put it in where all my other game systems are, because it's like downstairs. I don't get good Wi-Fi down there, and I'm not gonna play like Splatoon or anything on a crap Wi-Fi connection, because I'm a gamer and I like to win.
Because you're a hashtag gamer.
So I had to keep my upstairs, and I have like a TV that I don't have plugged in because I don't play anything on it. But I was like, okay, well, I need to move some shit around my room to set this up and do this. And before that, I was like, well, I have a computer like right here. It's got a monitor. I can just plug it into the monitor and it'll be good. It's a good ass monitor. It'll be nice. But the thing is, you can't really plug, if you plug, and this happens for everything, if you plug in a source that is 720p or 1080p into a monitor or a TV that is higher resolution, specifically monitors, because TVs do a better job of scaling, it looks like shit. Like, it's 1080p. It's coming in at 1080p, going to a 1440p monitor, and so like when you look at the game, it's just so like you can tell, because like it's 1080p, so that's however many pixels you need. 1440p is like twice as many pixels, and so it has to stretch that many more pixels out, and so you see like the edges on every character were just jagged and like blurry. I was like, this looks like just complete trash.
I can't play this.
I'm not playing this on my computer screen, that's for sure. So then I moved into my room, had to move my entire room around to fit the thing in there.
Would you say that you had to switch things around?
I did switch things up a little bit. It upsets me. I hate when like consoles or like even laptops and stuff like have their charge cable on, like, it doesn't matter what side it's on, it's always the wrong side that I need. So like the Switch like comes in from the right side, and all my plugins are on the left side, so everything's like twisted around the back. It's like tilted. It's just,
can we just say for a second that like the little like dock mechanism of the Switch is just shit?
I mean,
The best description
Like,
I
it's-
found for it is it just sort of crunches in.
yeah.
Yeah, like what I mean is like the dock itself is. I don't mean like the technology. The technology is awesome. It works very well. But I mean like the actual like physical construction of it, where like
Oh.
you put the cables in and then you snap the shit over it, and it's like a little clam.
Yeah, you just kind of like
clam.
slide it out. It just like falls out. You're like, oh, that's
Yeah, and you're like,
weird.
well, that's not good. And then you just like set up everything and like clamp it back on. You're like, that'll probably stay. Like that's.
Yeah.
I hope it. That's,
I definitely, when I was setting, because I had the same problem when I was putting it up on my desk for my monitor. I was like plugging my HDMI cable, and it just tipped over. I was like, "You're fucking with me right now."
Yeah.
Like, already it tipped over.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like nothing happened to it. But I moved into my room with my TV, and there it looks really good. Like Splatoon and Zelda look real nice.
Yeah, they look
especially
pretty
Splatoon.
good.
Like it's a really colorful, like really nice looking game. So I was
60
actually really happy.
frames.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
not in the hub, but in gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you go into this, have you played the single player in it?
Yeah.
That looks really nice, actually. Like
It does.
the world you're in the single player like has a really like.
It
nice
does look
look
pretty
to
cool.
it.
I only played the first level.
But yeah, so I started playing that. I started playing. So you can play Splatoon 2 with motion controls, and it tells you at the start in the tutorial to use the motion controls. I was like, fuck this, I'm a gamer. I don't need motion controls. I use the thumbstick because I'm a real gamer. So I started playing with that. I played and I was doing fine. Like I wasn't just like getting like shit on, but there were definitely times where I could tell that like the joystick on the Switch on the regular Joy-Cons isn't the best, and also there's
There's not a lot of.
there's no give on it. There's no
Yeah.
like it doesn't have a lot of like movement at all. But
There's no like resistance.
yeah,
like
no,
that.
and but is worse is the sensitivity never felt right either. Like looking around like the camera. But what makes that especially worse is in Splatoon 2, there's no auto aim. And if you play any multiplayer shooter on a console, there's auto aim in every single one because it's a necessary thing for controllers and joysticks. You can't precisely aim without auto aim on someone.
Except Infinite Warfare, which is another reason why that game is shit.
That's unacceptable. It's very very difficult to aim with a
But
controller.
there's no auto in Infinite Warfare.
I think there's like barely any.
That's an
Yeah.
issue.
all. Yeah.
That's an issue.
And there's none in Splatoon, and it's annoying because like it just the thumbstick
It is
just
kind of
did
a
not
twitch
feel
shooter.
right. It is
Yeah.
when people get close on you, you need to like follow them and target them, and like, they can
And
like
they're
go under.
they're
like,
flying and there's
yeah,
a
they
little
can zip
splat.
around and stuff. It's hard to keep track of people, but so then I was like, all right, well, fuck it. Like people say like, oh, if you want to be real good at Splatoon, you got to use motion controls. I was like, all right. And then I was like, so I've been playing now with it in separate hands.
Yeah.
And so it's basically like if you play the Wii, like nunchuck and your Wiimote, and I've been doing way better with that. Like it works surprisingly well. Like it was really confusing at first because you can't. So you can aim like up and down and kind of like look around in front of you with the like moving the Joy-Con around. But you can't actually like turn to the left and right very well. You can if you like whip really fast, but then your arm is like around the back of you and you're in an awkward position. So you have to use the joystick to
make
turn.
like minute adjustments
Yeah.
to the left and right. Yeah.
But even to turn like all the way, like I have to use it to turn like all the way around, and then when I have like a target in front of me, then you can use the pointer to like point at stuff. So that kind of it took some getting used to because that is not like intuitive at all at the start. But I was
So you
playing, like,
started
single
red
player.
stealing people's asses.
Yeah, like afterwards I was like, okay, like the first match that or not the first match, it was a couple matches, then I played the single player to kind of get used to it. I went back in and played with the motion controls, and I killed 4 people, which is an entire enemy team. I was just like, all right, that's it. Like no more joysticks. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm all about motion control now.
That's why Red Steel is the best
What
game
gun
of
have
all
you been
time.
using?
We're gonna skip over Red Steel a second time.
And we're gonna skip over Red Steel 2 for sure.
Thank you.
I've been using just the splatter shot.
Is that just like the Super Soaker looking one?
I have no idea. They all look like Super Soakers. I have no idea.
It's the one that's like
Yeah,
it's
don't-
like
don't
it's just a
patronize him
generic
about
ass
Splatoon.
gun. It's just like the one with like the big old tube on the top, and you're just.
I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's hard to see
Okay, look.
in game.
There's the splatter shot. There's the dualies.
I haven't used the dualies yet.
Dualies are pretty cool. The arrow spray.
I just unlocked that.
That's a cool one.
I've been getting just toasted by that one over
That's
and
pretty
over again.
cool. But it's also like, that's like the it's like a vector. It's like very not even that's a bad way to put it. It's like a I don't know. It's the definition of an SMG pretty much. Very fast firing, extremely close quarters.
Yeah.
Pretty good for like turf war, like just painting an area. It's pretty good.
I mostly been using just the regular splatter shot. I also used like the Tentatek something.
Yeah,
other.
the other version of it. That's the one I've been using.
That one seemed okay. I don't know the difference between either of those. They just seem the exact same.
The
to me.
Tentatek one has some sick ass decals on it.
Okay.
I don't know. There might be another difference, but.
Oh, I think the other difference was that it has a different like super ability. The Tentatek one was like the jetpack, which I didn't actually like. But again, I was using the joystick, and it was hard to aim with that. I bet I would do better now with the motion control. But
the jetpack one is good even for just covering area.
Yeah.
Because the shots do a lot of.
But I also tried
damage.
the first like sniper rifle you get, and that was again, it was just like I could just tell I was like,
I'm bad
I can't aim for shit with this, so I just stopped using it. But yeah,
that thing is cool too, but I don't feel like it's as effective for Tier 4.
No, I haven't been able to play the other matches yet because you have to get to like rank 10 or something.
Yeah,
to play
I'm
ranked.
like about to hit there.
The couple of gripes that you guys mentioned last week are definitely present in the game. I like
UI issues.
The UI. I like the aesthetic of the game, and when you start the game, and every time you start the game, it goes into a little radio show that is at least 2 minutes long, unskippable.
I heard about that.
There's no fucking way to skip this scene, and like I get the first couple of times where it's like, oh, and it's really cute, like the characters are like really charming and like they look very nice and adorable and stuff and whatever, but like
shoes are sick.
you can't see their shoes, but they're
But
very cute characters.
You know that they have some fucking sick shoes on.
Yeah, Pearl and Marina, they're very, very cool looking characters.
And
Marina,
they do the don't get cooked,
yeah,
stay
they do
off
like
the hook.
the cute little like yo like thing with their like peace sign like by your eye.
Take
and it's
issue
real
with
cool.
anyone in this game looking cool. I'm
It's
gonna say
very
right now, I don't
Japanese.
agree.
Yeah, my character, she has a beanie on and a basketball tank top, and I look like I'm about to go just fucking dunk on some fools.
Uptown dunk.
I have some
ass.
high tops on. I uptown dunks.
See, you're a girl.
I mean, you can switch whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
The game's very gender fluid, so you can
Excuse
do
me?
whatever you want.
Also, and you can wear any clothing on any person.
Yeah, so I just bought a shirt from the Splatoon 2 store that looks like a Barcelona soccer team.
I saw that.
Excuse you, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Did you buy it from the Splatnet thing?
Yeah,
That Splatnet thing's dope, dude.
and it's fine.
I mean, like, you can get some sick ass gear.
You can get cool gear from there, but it's annoying because you have to buy it, and then
You have to go to
you don't even buy it. You order it, and then you have to
to
go
your
find
drug
some
dealer.
maggot somewhere and like talk to him, and then you have to buy it from him. And I was like,
And that guy's sick though, dude. He's like, yeah, he's literally a drug dealer. He's like a guy in a trench coat. He's like, yeah, you want to get some sick shoes?
he's
like,
like,
I got you.
he's like, I got the good stuff. You probably don't want this good stuff, but I'll give you the good stuff. I was like, okay, you're weird, man.
Have you done the thing where like you can go up to someone and be like, it's a dope jacket,
Yeah.
and you can just order their clothing?
I haven't done that yet.
It's pretty
but,
cool. I ordered like a hooded like sweatshirt that has like a sick ass like polo
Okay.
underneath.
I usually avoid walking next to people in that game because there's been just a fucking just surge of furry. Okay, so if you played the Wii U or like on Smash Bros, there's a like they have like the Miiverse thing where people can draw just stuff and post it and you can see it. They have that in the Splatoon 2 hub.
Basically, like the main menu.
Yeah, and it's like unsettling. Every time I walk through there, someone has some sort of weird ass furry thing on their like picture that pops up. So the first person I saw in that game was just like, unleash your fursona, and I was just like, it was a picture of just like a furry. I was like,
No,
get the fuck out of here, man. I don't want. I'm not in
failing
this
to
stuff.
mention that these things look like they could be in a museum.
It's true. So,
Like,
okay.
like they literally, it looks like they spent like 900 hours like drawing.
Some people
it's
draw just
insane.
like shit that's like looks really bad. Other people, I don't know how they did this, but they are literal masterpiece like works of art. Like
insane.
I saw, oh my god, there's just it was crazy. I saw one that just looked like there was like 4 like a billion different like little like pixels on there. I was like, how did you even press like how did you get this? That's just insane,
dude.
It was hilarious,
I don't know if I have
but
a picture
yeah,
of
there's a lot of furries in that game, and that's upsetting. But yeah, I've been playing that game a fair bit, and it's really fun.
These pictures look like they're drawn by Vincent van Gogh.
Dude,
It honestly looks really good. I don't have a picture of it
Don't
in
say
here.
that, but also yes.
But also, yeah.
I don't have a picture of it in here, but there was one that I saw with I think it's on my Switch actually. I saved a screenshot of it, but it like people it runs the gamut from like Vincent van Gogh like masterpieces of like modern art to like
Van Gogh?
yeah, and then there's
Didn't wanna say
literally
goat.
there's literally just like one of them was like a very hastily scrawled note that just said my parents got divorced or
Yeah.
something like that. I was like,
It's just
this is
weird.
so bad.
That's
like
hilarious.
this
I
is
like
so
that.
bad. Or
It's-
like
yeah, some
it's
of them
like
are
really
funny.
dark humor where like people will know that it's like a kid's game
Yeah.
and you know it's an adult. Like it has to be an adult or like someone our age or something.
Because if it was a kid, it would be like, I beat my big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's like there's so many bad ones where
There's
it's like
good
very like poorly drawn or like written where it's like, oh, like my family is like shattered or something awful, and you're
Like-
and amidst all this other happy like crazy art, and you're like, wait, what was that over there? And then you go over and you're like,
what it
this
looks like
too
is,
much.
have you seen like when people draw like very, very elaborate sketches on an Etch-a-Sketch? It looks like that, like, but in like Splatoon 2, like it's bizarre. I don't know how people
And you
do
can
this
just picture
shit.
them
They
being
go
like,
in.
They really do, yeah.
like
I
just sitting there like intricately,
I don't know.
and you look at their playtime and like
Yeah.
they're level 1 or something, but they've played the game for like 50 hours.
I think they
just
use like
drawing.
an external tool. I follow some guy on Twitter who was playing it and like as a joke like did something for someone for like Waypoint, and I was just like, how did you even do this? Like this looks too good to be on. However you drew, I don't even know how you draw it on the Switch, but
because it doesn't have a
it's crazy.
stylus. There's no stylus on
no,
the Switch.
I don't know how people do it.
It's
weird.
insane.
But yeah, and then other than that, I'm playing a little bit of Breath of the Wild, which you guys have extensively covered in our first few episodes, I think. But I just started. I haven't played too much, but I got off like the tutorial area, and I didn't really do too much. I just kind of explored, wandered around, climbed some shit, and that was fun. I feel the game, like I said, it hasn't quite gotten its hooks into me yet. I don't feel like the incessant urge to go play it immediately, but I can definitely see at a point like that happening. But I haven't just seen enough of that game yet.
I think
really
once you get into the gameplay is pretty emergent. So like as you play, like every time you play from now on, you'll probably see something new.
Yeah.
Like new characters, like gameplay elements are constantly being introduced, but not like. I don't know. We've talked about it a lot, but it's very smart in the way they dole out.
Although I do feel
stuff.
like I may. How do I phrase this? I feel like coming into it this late, I've heard so many stories from so
I was
many
about to say
people
that.
that I'm like, I see something, I'm like, yeah, I've heard someone say that before, or like look at this like crazy shrine. It's like, well, someone already said something about this one. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of am not getting those like crazy experiences yet, but maybe like.
But there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that
I imagine as I get later in the game, like I will find more things that are surprising to me. But as of right now, I haven't played it enough to really see much of anything.
My one question is, did you get the warm doublet?
I did.
Well done.
Thank you. I was actually pretty happy that and I was like, okay,
It's a nice little puzzle.
Yeah, I was like, oh, how do I get up here? It's cold. And then I was like, oh, I made this warm stuff. And you get up there, and he's like, good job. Here's this dope jacket. I was like, oh, thanks. That's nice of you.
I'm not sure if that's how I got it. There might have been some. You
There's
have to,
different ways
you have
to
to
do
give
it.
him a recipe. In my situation, I like gave him like some sort of recipe or something that I made, and then he gave it to me.
Was it
well,
like the spicy pepper?
Yeah.
Skewer.
Yeah,
or
he had
whatever?
or he was in his sleep. He was talking about, if I could only get this one recipe, and then I like give him the recipe, and he gives me his.
Well, here we
jacket.
go. This is already something different. See, in my game, in the plateau, the starting area, there's like that snowy like mountain that you can climb up. I went and started climbing up there with like no cold resistant gear or anything. I had some of the cold like food stuff, and so I climbed to the top of the mountain after doing all that stuff, eating like the resistant cold resistant stuff. And you get to the top of the mountain, and the guy's up there, and he's like, oh, like I like commend you for getting up here without like any sort of equipment to like help you along the way. Take this to make your like trek back down easier. And he gave me the jacket.
And it goes.
That's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, I know.
So yeah, and that's that.
Nice.
And
Pretty good.
I've been playing a little bit of. I played a lot of Final Fantasy 14 this weekend. I think I'm about, judging from my level, I'm about halfway through Heaven's Ward, the second expansion. I've been making decent progress on that, but not too much to talk about. So, although I am impressed steadily, each area in that game that you go to has a new song, a new like soundtrack to play with it. Every single dungeon that I enter, every single trial that I do has a new song, and they're all really good. Especially the trials. Like, I actually don't know if they're good, but they all have vocals. Well, they don't all, but most of the recent ones I've done have like really like shitty like Japanese English vocals that play along with like hard rock, and it's
They
really
had that
crazy.
before in the other ones.
Yeah, it's like it's bad, but also it's kind of cool.
What is Japanese English vocals?
It's when Japanese
English?
people. It's when Japanese people are speaking
English.
like in English. Like they use a lot of English.
Not my words. I'm quoting that term.
No, sure.
And that's the thing that happens a lot in anime. Like a lot of times, like it's just a culture thing of you hear people just say like English words and like that. That's why like it's kind of fun to listen to anime like intros and outros, because a lot of the lyrics will translate directly. They'll be in Japanese, and then you'll hear one word of English that doesn't really quite make sense, or like one line of English that you're like, that's not how we say things, but it's, you know.
That'd be pretty funny if they just transitioned directly into English and they're just like, and it was so true.
That's the same way
that happens. Like,
that's
weird
the same
stuff like
thing that
that
happened when we were watching
But they like
that,
say it perfectly.
like North Korean documentary where the guy was translating everything, but he didn't understand like how to like pronounce words, or not even pronounce. It was like he didn't understand like the tone or the context of like what he was saying.
It's like a really fascinating documentary on Vice where a couple people from Vice go to North Korea, and they show a bunch of like promotional videos, and you can tell. And, you know, maybe I'm just being a little insensitive, but it seems as if the person from North Korea who is, like, talking with these videos is saying English. He's speaking English sentences. But from the way of his voice and, like, his tone and his inflection, you can kind of tell that he doesn't know what these words mean. Like, he knows how to say, like, someone told him, say these things like this. But he's like, okay, but I don't know what this shit means. Like, I don't know, like... You're just telling me to say this stuff,
these words are next
but
to
I
each
don't know
other,
what they mean together. I don't know how to say them together, and so it just sounds very just like robotic and like
it sounds like Siri is like reading like
even worse than Siri, because Siri can actually like somewhat
true.
like speak them coherently. But it's really fascinating. That's a fascinating documentary too. So I'd watch that.
That documentary is wild.
It's bizarre.
Never go to North Korea. If you're thinking about doing it, don't.
Honestly, we should watch it together, because that thing is, if you haven't seen it, it's
really
insane.
fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'd be Dane to watch it. First introduction of that meme.
It's a hot meme.
And the last.
And the last.
That's about all I've been doing. I haven't been playing too much else. So.
Well done.
Swag.
Dane. Tell me what you've been playing, motherfucker.
PUBG, of course. Splatoon. Been playing a little bit of Splatoon. Today, what I kind of wanted to talk about was I bought Slime Rancher. Have you guys heard about this game?
Seen it on the
I've heard the name, and it's funny.
Yeah. So I had no idea what it was. It kind of...
Do you ranch slimes?
You do, actually.
Do you slime ranches?
Do you ranch slimes? It unfortunately does not revolve around, like, buttermilk ranch or any sort of, like, dipping sauce, which I highly enjoy. But
you kind of figured that.
But it has that. But do you guys know what the game is?
I know. Does it have anything to do with like Dragon
Monster
Quest
Rancher?
slimes?
No.
No, it's completely
separate.
different. Oh,
Yeah,
I wish it was Monster Rancher with Dragon Quest slimes.
That's what I was thinking it was.
That would be cool, because Dragon Quest slimes are so good. They have the little smiley face and everything. They're great.
So what is this game?
So
They're so kawaii. Sorry.
I didn't know about this game at all until this week, but apparently it's been in early access for a while.
Yeah.
And it just officially launched. It's like $15 or something on Steam right now. It's like 30% off.
So how much is it normally? Quick.
Well, I bought it at $13.39.
Okay.
Plus tax. So
Okay.
I don't know. It's probably like
$20.
$20, yeah. Anyway, basically, from the videos and the gameplay, what I thought it was gonna be was like a I don't want to say No Man's Sky, because that's a really
Like Minecraft-esque.
yeah, like sort of like a Minecraft-esque,
thing.
like you gotta build your base and stuff like that. And it's not really like that. It's you start in like I guess the premise is that you're this, like, the whole game is really cute. It's so adorable. And, like, the music and, like, the style of it is just, like, sort of, like, I compare it to Animal Crossing, where you play and you're just, like, I feel, like, so at ease. Like, I feel so nice. Probably, like, Stardew Valley is a good, or, like, Harvest Moon. So it has that element to it, but it's, like, the whole concept is, like, you're this girl who, like, travels to...
Oh, you're playing as a girl.
You don't choose. Look, she's gender fluid.
Okay, cool.
They are gender fluid.
Nice.
Yeah, you get sent, like, you travel to, I think they call it, like, the far ranch or something, where it's, like, she goes into cryosleep for 1,000 years, and then she ends up on this planet that, like, has all these crazy slime, like, creatures and aliens and stuff, and you have, like, your little ranch, and there's not... So far, I've only played it for, like, an hour and a half, but I haven't seen any other people, if that's what you even are, I guess. I think you're, like, a human, but, you see, like, traces of other explorers who have been there and who have, like, settled areas, And so the concept of it is like you start out in your little ranch, which is pretty much like the equivalent of like your plot of land on Animal Crossing or like your farm on Harvest Moon. It's super small, and you're like, I just got here, I'm on my own, I'm gonna build a fucking ranch. And so like that's what you do. And the concept of it is you have this little like they call it a vacuum something, like a little cannon that you have, and you can just suck up items. Huh?
Dualies.
You have some splat dualies. No, so like you go around and there's little like slime people running around, and they do kind of look like Dragon Quest slimes, but like I hesitate to say more generic, but like they don't look as like cutesy as Dragon Quest slimes. But you suck them up. You start out with like 4 different slots that you can fill up with items, so you can pick up like vegetables, fruit, different types of slimes, like a bunch of different breeds of slimes, and then like you get these things called plonts or plonks or something like that,
Plants.
which is they're I don't remember what it's called, but they're basically like little crystals you can get from like either uncovering things in the environment, or if you feed a slime, it'll like it'll like poop out a crystal essentially. It'll
out a crystal.
It'll edge poop a little crystal. No, so it'll poop out a little crystal, and everything revolves around this cannon. So like you'll take your slimes back. Essentially, this is the gameplay loop that I did. You go capture slimes, you bring it back to your ranch. You can build little corrals that are essentially just like little like chicken coops, and you can actually build chicken coops too. But these are for your slimes. And you just like shoot them into this little corral through this force field, and then they just bounce around inside this little force field.
That's silly.
It is really silly, but I think the concept is that like eventually you'll have a huge ranch of just like, oh, you have like your pink slimes over here, and these are like your rock slimes.
But to what end? Are you building out your ranch? Or?
Yeah, you're building out your ranch. So the whole concept is like as you have more slimes and you feed them.
Can we wrap this up?
Hey! This is describing the game. So you like...
Sorry, that was rude.
That was really rude.
But seriously.
I don't know what the end goal is, honestly, yet. But, like, as of right now, I have a bunch of pink slimes. I have a bunch of, like, rock slimes, which are, like, these little blue guys. And then I have tabby slimes, which are, like, little cat slimes.
Oh.
That, like, jump higher in the corral. So you have to build higher, like...
Are you getting, like, materials to build things? Or, like, you said you can build chicken coops. Can you get chickens?
Yeah, you can. There's chickens and hens, like, in the environment.
Oh.
That are just running around.
Okay.
So you'll bring them back, and then you have to shoot them into like a corral or something. You can.
There's a lot of shooting animals out of a gun. I don't know if that.
Yeah, you like shoot them out of this like vacuum cannon thing that you have.
That's funny.
When you collect like the little Christies, you take them back to like a little bank, and you just shoot them into this like thing, kind of like in.
Shoot everything.
I don't know. It's really cutesy though. It's not like aggressive. You just kind of it goes like boop boop, and you just like boop them out of your little cannon.
You launch them.
Yeah, you launch them. That's a good one.
I'm still somewhat confused on
you don't fire them.
Are the slimes like currency, or do you just collect them just because they're silly things that jump around?
They're a means to producing currency. So basically, like that's when you feed a slime, it produces one of those.
Do different
crystals.
Slimes produce different things?
Yeah, they produce different crystals, and those are worth different amounts. And so then you can turn those in. I think it all loops into one set of like gold or like money or whatever.
Yeah, you can buy stuff.
And then you can buy like corrals for your slimes, which then you can like build higher walls if they'll jump higher, or like you can build like some slimes are more like affected by like heat or weather, so you can build like solar ceilings and different things so that like different weather won't affect them when they're in the corral. But then you can also build like plots of like fruit or vegetables and like set up like irrigation systems and things like that so that it'll like auto produce food, and then you can use that food to give to your slimes to help them grow into bigger slimes, and they produce more currency. And so I think the concept is that like you'll build up your slime ranch, which is super weird, into like essentially like a Harvest Moon style thing where you're like doing that loop of like, oh, I produced all my like beans, and then I'll sell those off and get money to buy like and then you can also use that currency to unlock different areas of the island, and when you go out there, it's sort of like it's actually really cool. I hesitate to compare it to Skyrim, but it has that sense of like, oh, what's over that hill, or like what's in that like cavern over there, and different caverns have like slime keys that you have to get to enter like dungeons and stuff like that.
Is there combat or
not yet? I mean, there's slimes that'll attack you, but you mostly just like you can suck up objects in the environment to attack them, or you can like suck them up and shoot them away from you.
Okay.
So it's mostly like it's mostly you running from
Yeah.
enemies and stuff. But yeah, the currency that you can use to like unlock like gates essentially. So you can go into like the cove area or like the snowy mountain area, and then they'll have different like breeds of slimes and monsters and stuff.
Is it multiplayer, or do you know if there's? Like...
I don't think there is. I don't know how it would work. Maybe you could like visit each other's.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. Or you just play together or something.
There is a system that it's called like Rancher Network or something like that, which I think
Ranch.
Yeah, I think it's honestly like RanchNet or something, where basically you compare different types.
SingleRanchers.com.
Like Buttermilk Ranch or like Newman's Own Ranch or like Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yeah.
And you have to decide which one is your
Hidden
favorite.
Valley.
Don't touch the table.
No, but like they'll show like seemingly a person, but I don't think it's another real person because they have like human names like John Adams or whatever.
Wait, George Washington.
George Washington.
Abraham Lincoln.
It'll just be like a name, and then it'll say like, "Hey, I'm looking for like 4 hens of this type, like 3 like fruits of this type, and then like I need this amount of like slimes," and then you can launch those into like a little thing, and then they'll like give you items that like they get from their area, sort of like in Animal Crossing where you're like, I need bananas, but I only have apples in my village, so you have to like export.
I have bananas, but I need apples.
Apples. so therefore I will have apples and bananas. So yeah, it's very weird. It is very similar to stuff like Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing, where you like put it on and you're just like, life isn't so bad.
I had no idea that's what that game was about. I honestly thought it was a Dragon Quest like spin-off game.
I thought it was too.
I had no idea.
I didn't know what it was. I saw Slime Rancher. I'm like, that sounds like Monster Rancher, but it also sounds like Dragon Quest.
I just saw it has overwhelmingly positive on Steam, which is like that means like 95+% people rated it positive
with 10,000 reviews.
Yeah, I was like, people love this game. I don't know what it is.
It was blowing up. I saw it on the top charts. I looked up some reviews, some gameplay. It looked pretty cool.
Fresh.
It's pretty fun. It's fresh.
How fresh is it?
Dude, this is looking fresh.
I have about 17 more questions to ask you about Slime Rancher.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think we're gonna save that for next time.
I would say, Culture, you probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I kind of tuned out.
You would not. You would not like it. Jordan, you might like it.
I want to hear your update next week on what the loop looks like.
I am gonna play more because I could see myself getting into a cycle with it. I'm very early on.
How much of Slime Rancher have you been playing?
I've been playing the hell out of Slime Rancher.
Just kidding.
But no, I have. I got a little bit back into VR recently this week.
I saw something on your dashboard.
How dare you look at what I've been playing? Yeah, so I played. I finished up level 7 of Thumper out of 9. So I'm getting pretty close. I want to finish that so I can say I did and like just have a full impression and review of the game, because I think that I might have already said this, but I think that Thumper is possibly my favorite VR game. Personally, I don't think it's the best VR game, but I think it's my favorite because it perfectly does what VR is supposed to do, which is transport you into like another world and not inconvenience you too much, which is something that VR can do sometimes. And I think that it's the perfect bridge to VR because it's not making you do all sorts of crazy physical movements. You can literally just look straight ahead, go into a trance, and you're still getting all the effects of like the stuff going by you and everything.
Feeling like that sense of speed, like going through stuff.
Yeah, you definitely feel the speed, you feel the closeness, and things aren't like going by your face really quick, but the little bug guy is like he's moving and he's right in front of your face, so you are basically him. And the music, you got to turn up the music on that.
I haven't played that game in VR, but I did play when it came out just regularly, and I love that game. Like it, when you like get into the rhythm and you like, it's very intense like sounding. It's not like someone might listen to it and be like, this isn't good music, but like when you're in that moment, it's very like intense. It makes you feel very just focused in the game, and it's really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a really good game, even without the VR component. But with it's still really good. Do you want to just hit like a key or jiggle the mouse or something? Yeah, just jiggle the mouse. Don't hit a key. Yeah. So I had one more thing to say about that. Oh yeah. Okay. So my one criticism of that game is that it's not. So what they do is they go into different time signatures. It's not always in 4/4 like most music is in 4/4 or 3/4, like very seldom. But they go into like 5/4, like 7/4, crazy time signatures.
Can you explain what that means for like a layperson? Like I knew that going into the levels, but I don't know what that means really.
So basically, just what that means is, in a typical song, it's 4/4, and it's like 4 beats per measure. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like a waltz or something like that is going to be in 3. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
So these songs are like in 5. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So it's like not a consistent beat, you know. It doesn't, you can't feel it as well as you can feel. And then once you get into like crazy like 7 and like 11, it's like, okay, this is just insane. Like no person can feel what's happening.
Do you appreciate that, like, as a musician?
I appreciate their commitment, and it's clear that they have an in-depth understanding of how that works. But like, I'm a drummer, I know about rhythm, and you can't. There's no way to be like, oh yeah, I completely felt through that whole thing, and I knew where the beat was at all times. Like, you can't. It's impossible unless you're like a free jazz player and like you study this game. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. I wish they would just keep it 4/4, but like have increasingly crazy rhythms instead of changing the time signature. That's just like kind of a musician thing, but I think everybody would understand that it gets crazy and you're like, okay, I'm not really feeling the music anymore, but
that's how I felt. Like when I would play it, but then like like it starts off relatively simple, but when I think I stopped at around like level 6, and like it wasn't me like feeling the music anymore. Like in Rock Band, you can like you understand the pattern, like hear like the rhythm, and you can like map that to what your fingers are doing. In Thumper, it was just like I just have to memorize what is coming up. Like I'm not memorizing the music anymore, which is a little off-putting, but also that's part of that game.
And it's still really fun even after it gets to that point. But yeah, the main thing that I want to talk about this week was I purchased SuperHot, the VR game. This game has been out for a while, non-VR. I don't know if it was on other VR platforms besides PSVR. It might have already been out.
I think it has.
I think it was on Oculus and Vive, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started playing this. I knew the general premise of the game, which is time only moves when you move, and you're basically in a bullet time scenario where you're shooting enemies, and it looks like a simulation where all the enemies are just red outline type of deals, and the environments are just kind of stark white simulation type, video gamey, like Res or something like that, like just a straight up. I don't even know how to.
Looking,
yeah,
like,
polygons.
They're just polygons.
Yeah,
polygonal.
No, like, detail or anything really.
They're polygamous.
But there is.
We don't know that.
There is another element to the game, kind of like a deeper kind of story. There's not really a story as far as I've gotten so far, but there's like another element to the game that is mysterious, and I'm pretty interested in that. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's fun. It's probably exactly what you want out of VR. That being said, there's a lot of movement, and you have to I cleared the chairs out of the way and stuff like that. So it's one of those games.
You're standing up while you're doing it?
You're standing up, yeah. You pretty much have to stand up. But that being said, it takes advantage of that fully.
That's cool.
The coolest thing about this game is when the opponents are shooting bullets at you, and you literally, as it's coming forward, you move your head and you watch the bullet like pass by, and you can hear it like kind of spatially moving by you, and you just like watch it go by, and you're like, okay, that just happened.
Can you so if someone shot a bullet at me right now, like I feel like how accurate can you tell if a bullet is like getting close to you? Like how like accurate does it seem when you like move your head? Can you tell like oh, it's gonna miss me from here? Like I can tell, I feel like my head is here, and like does that always match up? Like does where you think your head is always match up with where you think the bullet is gonna like miss it?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much always that part of it is pretty dang accurate, knowing when a bullet is gonna hit you or not. A lot of times if it goes super low, it won't hit your body, even though you're standing like you're a full human. But like if it goes a little below your head, it will hit you, but anywhere besides that, it'll miss you. Yeah, and so you pick up items and throw them at people. The one thing that I miss about this is I thought when I heard about this game, they said at the end of it you see in real time what it looks like because you're basically doing everything in slow motion. But that hasn't happened.
I think that's only in SuperHot. SuperHot non-VR is a completely different game.
Yeah.
And I think that only happens in that one.
Which is
a bit of a shame, yeah. That would be cool to see that, especially in VR, like seeing all your stuff. Although that might be a little weird.
I think that might be a like motion sickness problem because it would definitely be like moving without you moving, and that's like the biggest.
Yeah, I feel like that would cause you to just keel over.
Well, I think it'd be almost cooler if you do all your stuff in slow motion, but then they have like a little theater mode where it's just like a little like even if it's just you like sitting in like a room and it's like a little like literally like a projection screen, you're just watching like from an outsider's perspective of like in the building or whatever, and you're just like doing crazy stuff.
That's really weird how like
I don't know how they do that.
VR tricks your brain like that. Where like if it was you, if they put you back into it and ran it through in like fast speed, it would make you sick. If they just like move you back 2 feet and put like a pretend virtual screen in front of you and play it out, then you'd be like, oh, that's fine. Like I'm not moving, so it doesn't make me sick. Like. Yeah. VR is very strange.
It is strange.
It plays tricks with your mind.
Yeah.
And there is the classic problems of like VR and like probably a little bit of just specifically PSVR problems with the Move controllers. They're not super accurate. Like you cannot be perfectly accurate when you're shooting people from far away. Like you can try as hard as you can, but you just there's no guarantee that you're going to hit someone. And if you're throwing things, it's almost impossible to throw things accurately. I found the best method is to do like the backhand flick. That seems to like
Ninja Star it.
You get some speed on it, not like accuracy at all, but you get speed.
That's all you need. If you have enough items,
in the heat of the moment, you're just like die.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Throwing plates at them.
It's fun. It's a really good VR experience.
Have you heard or seen the game Polybius?
I've heard of it.
I feel like you maybe would like. I saw just like a 20-minute video of it, and it's like similar to Thumper in that you're following on a track, but it's like it's like those games you used to play in like Flash games where you're like in a tunnel, you know, and you're going really fast. You have to like dodge like the walls that pop up and stuff and like shoot enemies, but like it's done in an art style that's like super trippy. It looks like what I imagine someone on an acid trip would look like. Don't know that for sure. Don't know that from experience. It looks like the movie interpretation of that, and like it looked wild, and I think in VR it would just be insane.
Do you know about Rez? Because it sounds exactly like Rez.
It looks a little bit like Rez, but even like Rez is done in a way that is like artful and beautiful. Polybius is done in a way that looks disgusting and like awful, but like in like a cool like retro looking way. You should look up a video of it. It's neat.
Is this a game that is like an NES or SNES game, but then they like recreated it?
Possibly, yes.
I think this might be because is there really silly stuff?
Yes.
That you see?
Yes, there's a bunch of things with like cows and like it's bizarre. It's real weird.
I think I've seen this really old. It used to be like a side-scrolling like Galaxian type game.
So yeah, I've heard that was kind of cool. It looked cool from like watching it not in VR. I was like, this is crazy, and like you start moving so fast that I feel like if you're in VR, you would just be blown away because it just looks crazy. But yeah. So
Thumper, you're moving so fast, but I think it's because you're moving at a constant speed that you're not like throwing up.
Yeah, and I don't know how.
But also, your screen isn't flying all over the place.
Yeah, true. It's
because like in Polybius, you're moving like around like the outer edges and like back and forth. But I feel like I don't know what it would happen to you if you're going really fast, because in those games, if you hit a wall, you just stop. So like if you feel like imagine like going like so fast and then you hit a wall and it just complete stop. I feel like your stomach would just just erupt.
It might, yeah.
But I would also just like to see that because that would be crazy.
Yeah. I've been fooled before about something that I think will be really motion sick and then it's just not. Or something that I think will be completely fine and then I just throw up.
Or you play the fucking PlayStation demo one and you play that like platforming one and just like that killed me. We went to Olive Garden afterwards and I felt sick that entire time. It was bizarre.
What is the name of that game?
Garbage.
It's Playroom. It's like VR Playroom.
There's little robots flying around.
Yeah, it's basically a 3D Mario game except you're a little robot, and then the environment moves like without you controlling it, so you start moving forward and then there's like things passing right by your face and it just makes you throw up.
It was nauseating and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But that was the only like bad experience I've had so far playing with your PSVR.
Yeah.
Interesting. I want to try SuperHot. at some point.
Yeah,
I can't. No, I'm just.
I should buy regular SuperHot because I've been wanting to play that for a
Yeah,
long
that's what I
time.
mean.
I just
Like,
never
either
did.
way, I want to try it.
But yeah, I would like to see the VR one too because that seems cool.
All right, we're running pretty long, but we're gonna. I think we're gonna pick a film. Is that what's going on?
Let's do it. And it's my turn this time. I'm saying that right now. Last time we gave my turn to Ton, which I'm not. No hard feelings. I'm just saying that, just so we're clear.
Yeah, no hard feelings, but Ton's not here, and I'm glad for it.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
It's okay. He doesn't listen to the podcast anyway, so just kidding, Ton.
I'm just kidding, Ton. You're welcome back anytime, buddy.
Man, it's looking empty in here.
Both of those things sounded like they had an element of truth behind them, but I'm pretty sure neither of them did at all.
No,
I love Ton.
Listen, I've been told multiple times in my life when I think I'm clearly joking, but I get it, you know. So I don't emote very much.
Look, Jordan, you get it. You're half dead inside.
Exactly, and some people don't get that, and so I've had multiple times I say like something like not rude, but like I thought it was a joke, and then someone just says like whoa. I was like, I'm just kidding, man. This is a joke. Haha. I'll try to like be like.
I'll try to feel
less
more
of
next
like
time.
a sociopath next time, and like make a joke or something. But whatever.
Time to pick a wacky film out of the bag.
I was saying.
How are we gonna keep that new? How are we gonna keep that fresh?
Well, I thought I was gonna do a song while you were. No, it's too late now.
I feel like this bag is looking a little empty inside. We're making
So,
good progress.
just like you.
we already mentioned this, but
That wasn't a joke.
every week
Got him.
we reach one of our stank ass hands in this little bag here. It's not a hat, it's a bag. And we pick out one movie, of which there are probably around 40 now. 40-ish. This could be any type of movie. We do this every week, and when we pull it out, you too can watch by going to your favorite movie distributor of choice.
By purchasing it.
Yeah, probably purchasing it, or if it's Bill and Ted's, it's free on Prime, which you have to buy a subscription for.
Okay.
People always say like, "Oh, you have Prime, right?" It's like, "Oh, you know that's $100 a year."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whatever movie we pick now,
Which I have picked.
which Jordan has in his hand, you too could watch, and you could feel more engaged in our discussion about the movie if you were to watch it. If you've already seen it, good on you. Jordan, what's the movie?
Let's find out.
No, do you know what it is?
No. Interview with the Vampire. That's a pretty good film. I've seen this movie before. Most of it, at least. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this movie. Not a single thing.
Have you heard the term "Good Night, Sweet Prince"?
Yes.
It's in this film. That line is
I'm in.
spoken in this film.
We're crossing off all the classic movie lines. What do we have so far? We have. Are you talking to
Are
me?
you talking to me?
You must be, 'cause I'm the only one here.
Yeah,
we got
that's a
that.
good
We got I'll be Bach.
Yeah.
And then we have, dude, it's Frood.
They did.
Classic
Frood
line.
did.
But yeah, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are in this. They're the
Tom
leads.
Cruise.
And
Tom Cruise.
there's also a young.
Say
what's her
Hit
name?
Girl is,
What's
I
her
think, in this
name?
film.
Is it? No.
Pretty sure it's Hit Girl.
It's not Hit Girl.
It's not Hit Girl?
No, Hit Girl's like 10.
She's very young. She's even in Kick-Ass. She's very young.
No, I need to know because it's gonna bother me. It's someone. It's a very famous actress.
Natalie Portman.
She's very young. It might be
Young Natalie Portman.
No, it's not Natalie Portman. No, but it was very controversial because she's in a very mature scene, I believe.
Oh,
when-
I don't know about that.
Dakota Fanning. It's not
No,
Dakota Fanning.
she definitely is. This movie was made in
1994.
1994.
The year of our Lord and also my birth.
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
Yep, and she's like, I want to say she was underage in this film. She might be like 10.
Ew.
Like 12 or something like that. Like there's some, that's all I know.
Ew.
That's all I know. Apparently there's some weird stuff that happens.
I haven't seen, that movie was on TV. I didn't see it complete, full, beginning to end.
Well,
I saw parts in between, but I thought it was kind of neat, so we'll see.
There's a lot of stuff in here, man. There's a lot of great actors and actresses.
I will watch it.
Brad Pitt,
You
Tom
will have
Cruise,
to.
Antonio Banderas, and Kirsten Dunst. with
Antonio
top bill.
Banderas.
Puss in Boots is in this movie.
Yeah.
Puss.
There you go. Interview.
Real quick, do you think that Antonio Banderas is more known for his child roles, or like not when
Puss
he
in
was a
Boots.
child, but his roles for children, such as Zorro? That's kind of for kids, right? It's like PG.
I don't know.
It's a Disney movie.
True, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know if Zorro is like when
Maybe
you say
not.
that, I imagine Puss in Boots or like the animated.
Well,
like,
anyways,
stuff.
we have Puss in Boots, and then we have the dad from Spy Kids.
Oh. Okay, yeah, he's remembered more for his kids. What is it? I don't even know what he's in. Like,
there's one called Desperado.
Yeah.
Is that just Zorro?
But guys, listen to this. Kirsten Dunst shared her first on-screen kiss in this film with Brad Pitt, even though there was an 18-year age difference between them.
Stop.
She remarked, "I thought it was gross that Brad had cooties. I mean, I was 12."
She said it was gross. That's
yeah, no,
all you
she
need
said
to know.
that it was uncomfortable
Hey,
for her.
maybe it wasn't. Okay,
I'm
well,
just
she said it was
saying.
uncomfortable. You know what? I was gonna
I'm
try
just
to
saying,
defend
she
it.
was
But
12 years old. He was 30.
Man, he was 30 in that movie.
They said there was an 18-year age difference.
He looks like he's like 19. He looks very young.
He's 19.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt doesn't age.
Yeah, even now he's like what, like 50.
He's at least like 87. Like
that man has the secrets, and we need to find them.
I mean,
all right.
He's in the
He's
Also,
at least 99
Quick
years
quibble.
old.
Is the movie called Interview with the Vampire or Interview with a Vampire?
I think it's Interview with the Vampire.
Okay.
While you're looking that up, you can find us at It's Not So Subtle on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You may email us at
It's Not So Subtle
You almost got it.
at
gmail.com.
Okay.
Interview
Got
with
that
the
one.
Vampire. The Vampire Chronicles.
Interview with a vampire?
With the Vampire.
Okay.
This
The?
is
THA or THE?
a
The Shrek?
long-running, multiple installment series of books by Anne Rice called The Vampire Chronicles.
Well done. Is this a new movie or an old movie? Or what?
94.
All right.
It looks nice when I remember seeing.
Looks nice. You can find us on Twitch at It's Not So Subtle. Is there anything else for our plugs? Or the main plugs?
YouTube and iTunes.
Yeah.
Find us on.
Go ahead and
Not
review
So
us on iTunes. We have 0 other than
one.
a suspicious one.
We have one.
It's tenuous. I don't know about it.
Mysterious shadowy figure.
Shadowy figure that said, dude, this
That
podcast's
did.
pretty good.
I don't know why you guys think it's me. Maybe it's someone from the future.
I never claimed it was you.
You did.
Also, all
We heavily
signs point
implied.
to it being you.
You, in
but
fact,
I didn't
accused
say
me
it
of
was-
doing
No, I
it.
didn't. Do
Also,
it.
let me just say, you said all signs, and there's a song called All Signs Point to Lauderdale by A Day to Remember.
Oh.
And I've been getting back into A Day to Remember.
That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna start listening to a
huge
day
fan.
to remember.
I'm
I've
proud of
heard
you.
good things, but
It's like pop punk mixed with a tiny bit of metalcore, which is like screaming.
yeah, okay.
Anyways, very good. Yeah, so where can I find you, Jordan?
You can find me on Twitter and basically every other site that you would look me up. Video game tags as well. The Killamilla. You can find it. That's my title on Twitch as well if you want to see me stream various things.
You won't spell it.
No, I'm not going to. PlayerUnknowns. I sometimes stream myself playing just single player stuff. If you just want to see a game, that's a good way. You can just
If
see
you're
me
literally
play
just
something.
sitting there doing nothing at all.
Yeah,
and
if you just
wanna
like
be stimulated.
You know, if you're like, hey, I want to see Jordan like run through some dungeons as a tank in Final Fantasy 14. I want to see what that means. I want to see what he does. Then you can follow me. You know, I do that. Sometimes some weird shit happens when I run. Last time I did a dungeon, some person just spoke only in meows, and I felt real uncomfortable during it. But at the end, they said, hey, Jordan's character's name, which I'm not going to mention on stream, you were the best tank we had all day. And I said, hey, thanks. And then that person was just like, me, meow, 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 meow. I was like, later, dude.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah.
So yeah, if
Say
you want
it,
to see
dude.
weird shit like that in Final Fantasy, it happens all the time. Follow me on the Killamilla. If you want to see my Tumblr, which has a lot of anime stuff, you can find me at Tenzo-Taicho. That's it.
If you're laying face down on your couch and you want to look at some content.
It's small content. But you know, if enough people watch a stream, I have the stream running on my phone, have the comments on my phone. You know, just say I'll respond. I'm there. I'm not afraid to do that.
See if he won't.
Try me. Say anything to me. I'll say something back.
You gotta say it like Doomfist. Try me.
Try me.
There you go. That's his voice. That's his
that pretty good?
stock voice line. Try me.
Try me.
This is becoming problematic.
Try me.
Dane, where can they find you?
Lane to Point. I won't spell it because it's very simple.
Yeah.
Not
Is it
like
capital
not
D or
like
in capital
it's not
P?
It's not that I refuse to like Jordan. It's that I don't need to because it's a simple last name.
It's not because people hear La Pointe.
No. Lane da
There's
Point.
two capitals in there.
Lane da Point.
There's two
Lane
fucking
da
capitals in
Point.
there. It's hard to
Capitals
remember.
That's it.
hard to
The
fucking
capitals no
remember,
matter.
right?
So Lane to Point, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, PlayStation. You knew it was coming. Pornhub.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it on all those. And to piggyback off that, this isn't about porn, but I am going to purchase Dream Daddy soon, and I will stream it. So if you want to watch Dream Daddy, if you want to see me make my dad sonar.
I don't.
I've heard good things about that game. I'm interested in it.
Look, I heard the writing's great. Everyone at work is just talking about it. People who don't play video games like have come up to me.
Did you know, Coulter, it was made by Game Grumps?
Yes, I said that to you guys.
Oh, okay.
So like my coworkers,
Did you know that?
coworkers that like I talk to all the time that don't
Have daddies.
sure.
And I have daddy
Do you know if they have daddies or not?
I'm assuming they probably do.
in their dreams?
But like they who don't play video games are like, oh, I started playing Dream Daddy because like
That's
one
insane.
of my
That is
coworkers
insane.
is a Twitch streamer who
Loves daddies, and that's okay.
Yeah, and he streams a lot, and he's been streaming Dream Daddy, and so like people who like work in his like area or whatever have been hearing it through him, and so now everyone's singing the theme song, Dream Daddy. It's the whole like it's a whole theme song. Everyone's singing it. Dude, it's on the same level as that. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna buy it. And I'm gonna play the hell out of it.
Cool.
And I will stream it because I think it'd be a fun.
I
game
can't
for
wait to
people
see your
like,
choice of daddy. I'm really interested to see what that story pans out.
Look, I'm gonna make the best dad son of the side of the Mississippi.
All right, Dad, son as you know.
Don't at me.
I have to say that when I saw that I saw on the Game Grumps like Twitter or social media that they were doing this game, and I saw the title and like the pictures of all the daddies or whatever, dare I say, and I was like, oh no, like there's nothing wrong with making that game, but it's so like kind of attacking a niche, and it's like it's really like of the times and stuff, and they know it's like gonna be popular just because of the whole daddy craze that's like going on right now.
Yeah,
they literally like made Fidget Spinner the game, except it's like more accessible. So like I don't know, I just take a little issue with that, and then I was like, oh no, I could totally see this getting incredibly popular,
and it's very popular,
and now it is.
It's extreme.
Become real.
It's the night.
This
is
real.
the dark timeline where Dream Daddy is.
I mean, hey.
Just behind PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Saying something.
All right.
Anyway, I'll
You can find me.
it.
Coulter
Good.
Potter.
You can find me at Coulter Potter on Twitter and Instagram, dude. Find the most excellent tweets this side of the Mississippi,
That's off,
dude.
isn't it?
It's about to be bodacious, dude.
It is off, but that's fine.
This is a
we're
long-ass
done.
podcast.
Yeah, it's because we're long AF. All right, guys. We're going to be seeing you next time. Be excellent to each other.
Be most excellent, dude.
Be bodacious, bro.
And party on, dude.
All right.
Dang.
See you guys next week.